living on a disk, floating through space, with a tiny sun.
Hey, I'm FTFE and welcome back to the channel that does to stupidity what Kevin McAllister did to Harry and Marv when he was left home alone by very irresponsible parents. Brainy, what's your favourite Christmas movie?
Oh, I'm still not sending you video, am I?
don't
My
care.
favorite Christmas movie. I don't know. I want to watch Die Hard now because I used to have the argument that it wasn't a Christmas movie, and I recently watched a very good breakdown, and I'm definitely in team Christmas movie camp. In fact, it
of course it's a
arguably has
Christmas
more
movie.
references. You know what? I was like, fuck those people that think it's a Christmas movie. But then I watched a breakdown and they showed how many Christmas references and how many unique Christmas trees are in it. And it's more Christmassy than most of the movies we call Christmas movies. So you know what? That's fair enough. I'll give it.
Yeah,
I'll give it
Die
to
Hard.
Bruce Willis. But
Die Hard is a very good Christmas movie. My favourite is always got to be Home Alone. And I just want to play some of my favourite clips from Home Alone quickly.
Griswolds, I would say, though. Probably the, yeah.
Airbnb.
Ah! No! Ah, why? Why would you do this?
What the looks just like the pictures.
This is exactly how I remember it. Isn't this how you remember it?
Like reality? I don't like any of this. Ugh.
Brilliant.
All the murder that occurred, are you talking about? Like somebody did a real world, like, oh my god, where did you get this? What channel is that?
Oh, that was from Corridor Digital. They made a What If Home Alone was R-rated video.
Oh my god. Oh, it's terrible.
I think...
yeah, I'm not on video yet. I've got to get that ready. You
that's
shocked
how it
and
should
awed
be.
me here.
That's how it definitely should be. That's how I remember that. Barry, welcome back to the show. How you doing?
Well, not too bad, thank you.
What's your favourite Christmas movie?
Nobody got hurt in that movie, did they?
No, they really should have, though. I mean, let's think about the things that he did actually do to them. I mean, he did drop an iron on a guy's head from about 20 feet up. That guy would have died, you know?
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
What's your favourite Christmas movie, Barry?
I don't actually have one, to be honest.
No?
No, I don't
I'm
really
still
watch
not
movies.
I see here.
Okay, yeah, but everyone's got a favourite Christmas movie. I mean, I don't really watch that many movies unless they've got superheroes in, but everyone's got a favourite Christmas movie. But
I ain't going to lie to you, I can't think of one.
fair enough. What about in the chat? What's your favourite Christmas movie, guys? Just let me know in the chat and I'll read some out. If you feel like super chatting me, we'll read them out and talk about them at the end. Also thought I'd show off my amazing new Christmas jumper. What do you think, Brainy?
I think it's beautiful, and I was really upset that
you haven't
my
seen
new...
anything yet. Ready? Check this
Well,
out.
oh my goodness. I was going to say I was really upset that Teespring doesn't offer an ugly shirt option for us because I would have made a Beaver Rock ugly shirt option. I don't know if anybody's... I should get a picture up. I don't know if anybody's seen, but I'm offering... I got to pitch it on my own channel here. I'm offering a Beaver Rock special.
Yeah, I saw that.
What is it? I've branded it. Let's see here. Yeah, I branded that performance, by the way. It's the I'm Salty AF performance.
And he definitely was salty about it, though, wasn't he?
You can get die-cut stickers. This is the Unirock special. What I should do is I actually should go and make this really cheap so that it's like we all can get a Unirock wife beater. And then there's tote bags and coffee mugs and you name it. Boom, Beaver Rock merch. Sorry, somebody was like, somebody said something about
just call my channel and try and sell your shit, Brainy. That's fine. I don't care.
No, I know. Sorry. No, that's actually less about selling stuff and more about taking the stake and just fucking driving that thing in one, like, because I'm done with the conversation at this point. So yeah. Anyways, actually, I'm not supposed to talk about it because we're supposed to move on, and that is true. I'm going to. So let's.
Clive Wiles says that his favorite Christmas movie is the Star Wars Holiday Special. Is there a way to delete a member from the channel? Don't think anyone should ever speak to Clive Wiles again for that comment. I'm kidding, Clive. You know I still love you, but no, just no. Before we get going, Brainy, did you hear the news? Nathan Thompson not only lost his group. This lovely thing.
Official Flat Earth and Globe discussion. We got 140,000 members in there. The group was just deleted a few minutes ago.
But what else just happened, Nathan? Did your YouTube channel just get deleted as well, Nathan Thompson? Yes, it did. Yeah, so that's fun. He's a bit salty about that on Instagram, which is pretty much the only thing he's got left. And then did you also see Nathan Oakley versus Nathan Thompson versus Whitsitt?
Oh, of course I did. It was amazing. I've tweeted about all these things in the last 24 hours. It was crazy. I've already sound clipped that shit.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
me too.
He even tells Nathan Thompson's like, is this how you fucking communicate? You shut the fuck up. He said, like, you like sit your ass down.
Oh,
like,
Nathan Oakley is such a dickhead.
I can't remember exactly what he says, but he's like, you shut up right now before I tell you again, or something like that. It was fucking, and you just hear like nothing out of Nathan Thompson after that.
Yeah, Mike M says Nathan Oakley, boom, boom, downward bias.
Oh, did you see the techno song that somebody made already of it?
Oh, yeah, fucking amazing.
Balloon go boom boom, balloon go down go boom boom.
Geza the Master Reviewer says, when did he lose his YouTube channel? Yesterday or today. Yeah, no, it was yesterday, and he's really not very happy about it. Really not very happy about it. But anyway, let's get on.
Night, like late last night, wasn't it, or something? I can't remember. Either way.
Let's get on with the reason why we're here, and that is to have a talk with Barry, good old Barry, about the Earth being a magic frisbee pancake snow globe thing. Tell me, Barry, why do you believe such a ridiculous thing?
Is it ridiculous?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, it goes against all of the laws of physics.
Claiming that something that isn't really there, that isn't a force, is actually being used in a way that you're claiming is a force, and then saying it's natural. That's unusual, isn't it?
Okay, so you're talking about the fact that Einsteinian theories describe gravity as not a force, but the curvature of space-time, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, and that's absolutely right. But it doesn't take away the fact that there is a... Hold on. It doesn't take away the fact that there is a mass that accelerates, which means that F equals ma, which is something nobody can disagree with unless, they seriously have mental problems. F equals ma. There is a mass that accelerates, therefore there is a force. So we have a mass, anything on Earth, it accelerates towards the ground, therefore there is a force. We know there's not a physical force, there's the curvature of space-time, making something that's travelling in a straight line, travel in curved space.
That's just you trying to tell people things don't drop. It's a load of rubbish.
No, what do you mean things don't drop? Of course they drop. They accelerate.
All go boom boom.
Special force. Yeah, it is. It's called weight.
Yeah, but what is weight, Barry? The official definition of weight is mass times the acceleration from gravity.
No, it's not actually with acceleration. If it falls, it falls. Chances are the only reason it's going to
if it falls, it falls. No,
in the first place.
Right. Simple question about this, Barry.
It is. That's what I'm saying. It wouldn't naturally sit there. It would have had to have been taken up and then dropped.
Yeah. Right. It's very simple though. Is there a mass that accelerates?
What do you mean? Is there a mass that accelerates? When it falls, yes.
Yeah. So that means there's a force. It's as simple as that.
It means it's falling.
No, it's not. It's accelerating.
No, it's falling.
No. It's not falling. It's accelerating.
No, it's falling.
Are you denying that something is accelerating when it goes towards the ground?
You're the one trying to claim that there was something that if it speeds up a little bit, that makes it have force.
Acceleration isn't just speeding up a little bit.
And then you're trying to equate that and say that that's what affects gas, which with zero evidence that gravity can pull down gas.
There's plenty of evidence that gravity can affect anything with mass. I can rattle off 5 experiments right now.
Show me where this evidence is like to be.
Yeah, the Cavendish experiment, the Pound-Reppler experiment, the Schehelian experiment, Edison experiment of 1999, the discovery of Neptune. Yeah, they do. That's exactly what it does. All those experiments demonstrate that exactly that can happen, that mass attracts mass.
They don't though. They don't show you that it can happen. You're claiming it's a natural.
They show that mass attracts mass, right? Do you disagree with that?
No, it doesn't. Mass doesn't attract mass.
Then explain the experiments that show that mass attracts mass.
Which experiments show that mass attracts mass?
I just mentioned 5 of them to you.
None of those show mass attracting mass.
Sorry, in the chat, if you're having issues hearing Barry, that's as loud as he can be. Barry, just maybe... Yeah, it's all right. Yeah. the Cavendish shows that mass attracts mass. The pound replica experiment shows that energy is lost when something moves away from the Earth. The Schehelian experiment definitely shows that mass attracts mass. Eddington experiment of 1919 shows that mass attracting mass is the result of the curvature of space-time. The discovery of Neptune verifies all of those through scientific predictions.
The science that they made up in the first place.
No, they didn't make science up. Are you saying the scientific method is made up?
Right, I'm saying that you're claiming that gas is doing the opposite to what it naturally does, and it's clinging to the outside of
What does it naturally do?
Yes, no, it doesn't naturally do that.
No, what are you saying? What are you saying gas naturally does?
It would move outwards in all directions.
What, infinitely?
Well, if it could.
Why? Where would that energy come from?
Because that's what the gas does. It moves to the lowest.
Do you know why gas does that?
It only reacts to pressure differentials.
Do you know why gas does that, Barry?
Light.
So if I pop a balloon, right, and all the gas expands outwards in all directions, do you know why it does that?
Because it's gas.
That's not an answer. Just saying because it's gas.
No,
why does the gas?
No,
why does the gas move in all directions? What is making it move? What is
because it's now in a slightly different environment. It was before.
That's not an answer.
It was in a.
Where does the energy come from that has caused the gas to move?
You put the energy in when you blew it in there. When you filled the balloon up. You can't tell me the balloon's come
right.
full already.
Okay. No, I'm not saying that. But okay, let's go with that.
But you're assuming it.
No, I'm not. Listen, I'm going with what you've just said, right?
No, that's 100%.
Yeah, you give the gas the energy when you blow it into the balloon, right? You force it into the balloon, right? And then the walls of the balloon hold it in place, right? Now, what kind of energy is that giving the gas inside the balloon?
Ooh, can I guess?
Yep, Brainy.
Energy.
Pressure energy. No.
Gas pressure energy.
Well, isn't it technically kinetic?
Yes, you are giving it. Brainy is absolutely right. You are giving that gas kinetic energy, right? Now, the next question for you, Barry, is kinetic energy that something holds finite or infinite?
I'm not 100% sure on that. I had said it's not finite.
So you would say it's infinite. There's an infinite amount of kinetic energy
that
that
gas.
It's
not finite.
Right. Okay. Excellent. Right. So you're right. There is a finite amount of kinetic energy that the molecules of gas inside that balloon have. Now, that kinetic energy, as soon as that balloon pops, that kinetic energy is forcing all of that gas to expand in all directions. What happens once the kinetic energy runs out?
The balloon starts to shrink slightly.
No, the balloon's gone.
It does actually depend on the container, actually.
We've popped the balloon and all the gas has started to expand outwards, right?
Yeah.
So it's now using the kinetic energy, well, the potential energy that we gave it at first to become kinetic energy. It's now using that kinetic energy to expand outwards, right? So what happens once the kinetic energy of each of those molecules runs out?
How do you mean once it runs out?
Well, you agreed that there's only a finite amount of kinetic energy that each gas molecule can have.
It won't run out, will it?
Well, that would mean that there is.
Will affect it.
That would mean that. Wait, but that would mean that there is a. Hold on. That would mean that there is a infinite amount of energy, which is impossible.
In the atmosphere in which it was released into.
Right now, okay. Let's just say we've got a a big room, right? That's just got temperature controlled. There's no changes in temperature. The whole room is just 30 degrees Celsius, all right? And all the gas has expanded outwards, but the gas that went up and the gas that went down, it's all ran out of the kinetic energy that it had. What happens to it then? Does it keep expanding?
Energy's all around. Energy's all around.
No, we're talking about the energy. We're talking about the specific energy that each of those gas molecules now have. Once that kinetic energy has run out, what happens to the gas then?
Are you asking me to take a guess, which is what you were doing?
No.
Can you display what you mean by showing an experiment?
Well, all of the experiments that show that mass attract mass is my point.
Because you're claiming it's a natural phenomenon. And you can't even produce.
What am I claiming? I'm not claiming anything.
No, you're trying to claim that what happens in the balloon here at ground level is going to be happening up in the sky. That's what you're trying to do.
No, Gary, pay attention.
Barry,
Sorry, Larry. You need
He's going to get it wrong, isn't he? He's got everything else wrong. How's he going to get the name
fucking
right?
awesome, though. That was amazing.
He can't even get gravity right.
right. So
pulls you down. Now
we're not talking about gravity
man.
right now, right? We're talking about the kinetic energy that the gas molecules have. Once the kinetic energy,
you're trying to distract from the fact that what I wanted you're trying to claim that a ball can support gas on the outside.
We're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there.
No, but you're not going to get there because you will never be able to display this because it's not physically possible.
I can display it. That's the point. I absolutely can.
Sorry, I made a mistake there. Sorry, you're right. Carry on.
I can easily cite the experiments that show that mass attracts mass, but we're gonna get there in a second, right? I'm trying to get around what we're saying about the molecules from the gas in the balloon that has now expanded, right? So just imagine, like I said, we're in an infinitely sized room that's a perfect 30 degrees centigrade everywhere, so there's no temperature or pressure differences, right? And the gas has expanded in all directions, and that gas that went up has now ran out of kinetic energy. Like you said, there's only a finite amount of kinetic energy each of those molecules has.
Yes.
That's now been expelled. What happens to the gas?
And how long are you talking about before that has expelled? A year?
Well, it depends how much kinetic energy. It depends how much kinetic energy was in the molecules, which would be a combination of factors depending on, how much thermal energy was wasted, how much air you put in. But the fact is, there is only a finite amount of kinetic energy. So what happens once that runs out?
I don't think other than it going down slightly, I don't think anything else will happen.
Why would it go down slightly?
But like you said, if you burst a balloon, then it's just going to mix with the rest of the air that's in the atmosphere, and there's your kinetic energy.
No, it's
movement.
Kinetic energy. So the gas
from high to low.
So the gas that's expanded outwards, do those molecules just keep going outwards forever, or do they at some point
unless they get moved by something else, another force?
Right. So if you're saying they go outwards if you're saying they go outwards forever, Gary, you're saying that they have an infinite amount of kinetic energy. Nothing can have an infinite amount of kinetic energy, right? My point here is that once the kinetic energy runs out, what happens then? The gas reacts to other forces. Now,
the
next question for you, all right, and this is a very important question, which I'm pretty sure I know what you're going to say the answer to, right? Does gas have mass?
As a gas on its own, no. It'll have it may have kinetic energy with it, but unless you put it in a container.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but that same gas is in that goddamn container.
It won't be under pressure.
So if you wait,
be under pressure.
Yeah, but hold on. You can take a balloon, weigh the balloon precisely, and then take that balloon, fill it with air, put it in a vacuum chamber, and weigh the damn thing, and it will weigh, and then take away the weight of the balloon, and you'll get the weight of the air inside the balloon.
So
you're right. You put it in a container.
When you put the
but you
balloon
have
in
to
the
contain
vacuum
it only
chamber,
because.
the balloon?
Yeah, but containing something is a dumb. Hold on, containing something is a dumb comment, though. If you're going to say that,
No. Containing it in a balloon and expecting it to do the same as a tin can is a dumb explanation.
But what I'm trying to say is everything's a containment. This is a solid containment of whatever molecules this is made of. Just because it's a solid doesn't make a difference. The problem with gas is that gas doesn't sit in a solid position. So in order to weigh it, yes, you have to contain it. But it's no different than your drug dealer when he weighs. It's no different than the pot dealer when he weighs the bag before and tears it, or when they do a chemistry thing and they tear the. You'd put it on this. You'd tear the weight of your little freaking whatever you put it on to find out how many grams or decimals of a gram, and then you would weigh whatever you put it. It's no different, and then you can find out what it weighs. So the idea that gas doesn't weigh anything on its own is ridiculous, because if you take away the weight of the balloon, all you have you're weighing is the gas. So I mean, come on.
So
the problem I have
you just explained yourself, yeah? You just
really
explained yourself now.
So Barry,
so explain this to me again.
So Barry, my simple question is that does each individual molecule of gas? So
if I had answer his question.
Yeah, okay. I mean, this. Okay, go on.
So sorry about it, Craig, but can I just answer Man's question?
Yeah, sure.
You were talking about these molecules and what they're going to do, right, mate? And you're telling me, oh, they're going to run out and they're just going to suddenly fall. Well, that wouldn't happen if they was exposed to a vacuum, would it? Would it? That
He's
wouldn't
asking you a
happen
question,
if it was
Brady.
exposed to a vacuum. You know when you
Sorry.
burst that balloon and it's exposed to a vacuum?
I thought he was asking you the question. I wasn't
What would
fully.
the gas molecules do?
Well, they're going to move away at almost the speed of sound,
Exactly.
typically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Until they can
but that
fill the
doesn't mean they
volume
didn't.
of the-
Okay,
of
but
the
so then,
space until
but then,
they
okay,
try
but
to
hold
fill
on,
the
hold on,
volume.
hold on. Okay, so here's the thing. What we can do is take that container. We could weigh that container while it's got pressure in it, and then we could pull the air inside the container out and then weigh the container, and the container will still weigh less because there is less air in that column now. So like either way you cut it, we can do this experiment.
But here's your problem. You're not listening to me now. Here's your problem. You wouldn't have to weigh that. You wouldn't be able to weigh that gas until you put it into a container.
That's still pointless. Yeah,
Right,
but you
so
can't
that's the
weigh
whole
a
point I'm trying to
molecule
make.
on
That's
its
what I'm
own.
trying to say to
Yeah,
you.
but what I'm trying to make
You're
is
trying to-
your idea of a container is
depends on the
flawed. This
container.
is a container. This is a container. It's just a solid. You're getting the idea of what needs to be a container. This is a whole bunch of separate molecules that have come together to become a solid container.
But I mean, this is
a
kind of
container.
right. This is kind of away from what the question I was asking, because you're talking
Can you
about
not
weighing
see the
something.
need for an experiment?
I'm
to
not.
prove
I'm not talking about weight.
Everything
I'm
has a
talking.
gaseous, solid,
Right, hold on.
and
Right.
everything has the same states in all three.
You're talking about weight. I asked, does gas have mass? Terry, not weight. Does gas have a mass?
And
So
it's,
does an individual molecule of oxygen, does it have mass?
Oxygen have mass.
Yeah.
Only when contained.
Of course it has mass. What do you think? we're
So
made of?
wait. There's only mass when it's contained.
Yes.
Could you define mass for me, please?
No, could you define what you mean by gravity, please? Because I've never seen gravity affect gas, and you're telling me it can. So,
if gravity affects everything with mass,
we just had the experiment that shows what you're saying.
I've told you 5 of them, and
go.
you just say nuh-uh.
What? Because it doesn't show you a ball that's got gas around it, and it's
We
inside a
show
vacuum.
right.
That
Okay.
You're assuming the Earth is doing.
Can we? Do you want to follow the scientific method for this? Because the scientific method says that it does,
What
and
you're
that we
gonna do
can.
is try and come around it and come out saying, "Oh well, because this is that weighs that and that weighs that, so it's got to be working."
Right. We're moving away from my question, Terry, which is, does gas itself have mass?
Only when contained.
Could you please define mass?
So does a solid
You don't
have
understand your own
mass?
question.
Yeah.
Wait, I got a question. Does a solid have mass?
Wait, hold on. I just want to stick with this for one sec, Brian. I want to stick with this.
It'll be an amalgamation of body and molecule.
No.
Yes.
Mass is literally the amount of something. The way it's described in physics is the amount of resistance to acceleration. Right? It's the amount of stuff. Right? So you need a force to accelerate a mass. No, I'm trying to get you to understand what mass is. Everything has mass. And we're walking there step by step, Terry. Right? Everything has mass.
Why are we
right?
walking?
Whether it's contained or not, it has mass. Now, all the experiments that I can cite show that mass attracts mass at the specific constants that we show that it does. And if we can demonstrate that mass attracts mass and gas has mass, that means that we can demonstrate that the gas of our atmosphere would stick to Earth because of gravity.
But you haven't, have you?
Could you please
Yeah, but
now...
the entire essence of what a container is flawed. Like,
of course it is. He doesn't understand that a container in the case of our atmosphere. Our atmosphere is a container, right? Our atmosphere absolutely is in a container. Right?
Proof that you were lying.
yeah, but everything.
Mary,
you would have an experiment showing it, and
right,
you haven't.
Mary, let me ask you this question.
I just explained it.
Is the atmosphere contained?
Yes, it is.
We agree on that. Do you know what contains the atmosphere?
What is it called? Diamdidium? Diamondium?
I can tell you what it doesn't
Drum?
contain. It's not gravity. That is not a barrier. It's definitely not gravity giving us an atmosphere.
Okay, now there's an acceleration caused by gravity. Now there's a simple question, and I want you to answer and just stick to the answer to this question.
Acceleration assumed to be caused by gravity, because gravity is not a force, so it can't be doing that.
Well, stick with me here.
Watching, just be careful.
Does an acceleration require energy to overcome?
Only in pseudoscience, according to you.
Sorry, listen to the question, Barry. Does an acceleration require energy to overcome? Yes or no?
Energy to overcome what?
So if something is accelerating in one direction, all right,
does
it require... in whatever environment, if something is accelerating in one direction, hold on, let me answer the question. If something is accelerating in one direction, does it require energy to overcome that acceleration?
Yes.
Right. There's an acceleration on Earth. Energy is required to overcome that acceleration. Therefore, there is a container.
I know the Earth isn't moving. It's definitely not moving, mate.
I mean, we all know that I can prove you wrong.
If the Earth is spinning at one rotation every 24 hours,
You mean
that means
a
that
cartoon?
every hour it has to turn 15 degrees. And if the gyroscope is mounted anywhere on Earth, it's going to drift. In today's 21st century navigation systems, they're using what's called
the emojis,
a
guy.
ring laser gyroscope. It is extremely precise. If we could simply get one of these ring laser gyroscopes, we would be able to prove once and for all that there is no rotation to the Earth. One of the people in the community actually purchased one for $20,000. But what we found is when we turned on that gyroscope, we found that we were picking up a drift.
Everybody now? A 15 degree per hour drift. Yeah, so we'll get back to that because we know the Earth's rotating. But
proved in the cartoon show.
We can get back to that because we all know that the Earth rotates. Thanks, Bob. But you've agreed with what I said, that an acceleration requires energy to overcome. There is an acceleration towards the ground on Earth that requires energy to overcome. Therefore, there is a container. The container is the energy that's required to overcome the acceleration.
Yeah, it can't be.
Yeah,
it can't
thank
be
you.
displayed, can it? You can't.
Yes, absolutely
you
it
can't
can.
show
Just
this-
have a look at the
you
Cavendish
can't.
experiment
You
that
can't
shows
show
the mass
gas
attracts
around
mass.
the ball in a vacuum.
I can. I've done that several times, and you just go, no, that's not it.
You haven't. You show me magnetism working against plasma.
No. I've shown you gas around
obviously you have to cheat. You
a
have
sphere.
to lie because you're not actually telling
Would
the
you
truth.
Would you like to see it again? It's
so-
very, very,
what?
very easy to show you gas around a big ball in space. Very
no,
easy.
it's easy to show me a fake. Can I explain how
You
that's
say it's a fake.
Of course
You
it's
say the one that from 1972 taken with a physical Hasselblad camera on a 70mm lens is fake, but you know.
Listen, mate. Shall I explain to you why it's a fake?
Please do. I enjoy a good laugh.
Okay, you're saying that something left the surface of that ball that you're
Correct.
You're pretending is Earth. It left the reference frame that was supposedly spinning on a rocket.
Well done.
It then went into an area which it went into an area where there's no way for it to physically communicate, i.e. steer itself. There's no gas around it. There's nothing around it. There's nothing around it for it to steer. You can't.
So because you
Can I
don't
ask a question
understand.
before you get going.
Yeah, please.
No, it's not that I don't understand. It's just sometimes I find it hard to say in the right.
To understand,
the right way.
yeah.
You've
I
gone
know, it's
through
cool.
you've gone through a barrier which doesn't allow mass to go through it. Right.
Perry,
You ended up in a
Radiation.
gasless state inside a vacuum. Somehow it's managed to carry on flying out and then stop itself, turn around and take a still.
it
Meanwhile,
stopped, turned around, and
this
took a
50
still.
degree turn isn't shown in this 50. And this
Wait, did you just say the 15-degree turn isn't shown in a photo?
Of the Earth through the,
Oh my God.
How is it possible
solar
that you
system.
know you're so right on with some
Before.
physics theories, but other ones you're
So
just
you've got a camera to sit still in space.
Oh my God.
And take that photograph.
Wait, Barry.
Sort your head out.
Just a couple of things you said there.
Sort
You
your head
said
out.
that
You're
you
claiming
said
that there's a
yeah.
there's
Okay.
a
Hold on.
6,000
Let,
miles an
I just
hour
need to run through some of the things you said there, just to be
By the
clear.
time that camera's
You-
got out there, how far would that
Hold
be?
on.
That's
Hold
miles
on.
away.
Please let me just digest some of the things you said there. First thing you said was that you can't see the 15 degree per hour turn in the photo.
Correct.
Do you know how photos work?
Yes. Do you? Do you?
Yeah. Could you see something
Yeah.
rotating
So now
in
you're
a
telling me
photo?
that you can take a photo from a vacuum on something that was moving.
Barry,
would need an outside force to stop.
Perry,
And
hold
you
on. One thing
turn
at a
around
time.
and take a still photograph
Perry, one thing at a time. One thing at a
of a
time.
moving
Right?
object.
One
moving
thing.
66,000
One
miles
thing
an
at a
hour.
time. One thing at a time. All right. Let's stick with the. You can't see the 15 degree per hour turn in the photograph. Please explain to me,
Not a photograph.
and talk to me as though I'm a child. Please explain how you would see something turning in a photograph.
I'm trying to explain to you, how would you actually have a photograph of something that's moving at 66,000 miles an hour?
Well, we'll get to that. That was another thing. All right. I want you to stick with the fact. I want you to stick with the fact that you said that you should be able to see the 15 degree per hour turn
It would
in a
have to be a
photograph.
bit more of a blur. Let's put it that way.
Why
If it's
would
moving not that far.
Barry? Hold on. I'm going to
over 1,000 miles an hour.
let me show you. Let me show you
That isn't-
exactly how fast it's rotating. All right. I'm going to recreate live for you, absolutely 100% live, the speed that the Earth is rotating. You might need to just watch really closely. All right. You ready?
Yes.
Here we go.
Correct. I accept that.
Wow. Did you guys catch that?
Yeah,
I mean,
accept
that was amazing.
You didn't move.
I was going exactly 15 degrees an hour.
No, you didn't move.
It takes
You're still in front of
it
the
takes
camera.
24 hours. Dude, it takes 24 hours. Think about how fast the clock moves on a big hand or the little hand on a clock, and it has to do that twice. That goes twice per day, so it's half
Yeah.
that speed.
I literally just spanned the same speed as the Earth there.
66,000 miles an hour.
Right, now-
Moving.
Okay.
But you're talking about the rate. You're talking about the outside diameter. Everybody knows that the kid on the outside of the circles get thrown. That's just
Right.
not how it works, though. I'm sorry.
It's not. Right, so we've dealt with the fact that you think you should see 15 degrees per hour turn, which is half as fast as the hour hand on the clock in a photo. That's the next one we're going to deal with. So the Earth's moving at this incredible speed through space. All right, we'll give you that. It is moving pretty fast. Now, the rocket that's just left the Earth, there's an important thing here. Do you know what the conservation of momentum is?
Yes.
Right, so the rocket leaves the Earth. It has the momentum of the Earth as it leaves it. At what point
No,
did it
has the
lose
momentum
that?
of the rocket because it's on board the rocket now. It's left it. When the rocket took off, it left the spinning reference frame.
Okay, but did it conserve the
Your
motion
spinning
that it
reference
had?
frame.
Did it conserve the motion that it had when it was on the Earth, traveling tangentially at
No, it
66,000
took
miles an
a
hour?
parabola. If you go and look at the rocket again, you'll find that rockets don't actually go into space. They just go very high.
I mean, I've watched them
they
go
then
into
turn.
space,
they then
but you know,
level out.
right? Stop moving away from the point here, right? The rocket,
No, but you're
when
trying
it
to make
took
it sound
off,
the rocket takes
no,
you into space.
the rocket when it took off, did it have the motion of the Earth? Just as if it's on the Earth and the Earth is moving 66,000 miles an hour, was the rocket going the same speed?
The best answer I can give you for that is, right, if you look at the videos that I was showing,
No, listen to the question.
Show you that. But that's what they do. It's based off a flat,
Jerry,
non-rotating.
come
Earth.
on. Jerry, listen.
It's based off a flat, non-rotating Earth. When they designed the
Jerry,
rocket,
you need to try and
it's based off
focus
a
on
flat,
each of the questions.
Non-rotating Earth.
Jerry, listen to the questions. All right. Before the
The
rocket,
answer then.
the answer isn't answering the question. I'm asking very
It
specific
does.
questions.
When they
No,
designed the rocket, they
I'm
designed
asking
it
very
to take off.
specific questions. Listen. If the Earth is moving tangentially at 66,000 miles an hour, before the rocket took off, did it have the same momentum as the Earth? Yes or no?
No, not once it left the Earth.
No, I said before.
If you're trying to say that the Earth was moving before it
No,
took off, I'm saying
just answer the
yeah.
question, Barry. Before the rocket took off, did it have the same momentum as the Earth?
It was stationary. That's the same momentum.
If the Earth is traveling at 66,000 miles an hour, you know what I'm trying to say here?
You're saying if.
Yeah, okay. So,
Yeah.
and
Which
this is
means
answering
it's
your
not
question.
actually-
This is
We're
just
assuming.
stick with the question, right? If the Earth is traveling at 66,000 miles an hour tangentially, before the rocket took off, did it have that same tangential momentum? Yes or no?
Not once it took off.
Before, Barry, listen to the question. Before it took off, yes or no?
Yes, because it was
Right,
stationary.
thank you. Right, so now it's taken off. At what point did it lose that momentum of 66,000 miles an hour tangentially?
The moment it took off.
And what force caused it to lose 66,000 miles an hour in one direction?
The rocket engines.
The rocket engines do not provide enough thrust to counter 66,000 miles an hour in one direction
They do.
instantly.
They counter enough thrust to take it out of what you claim to be gravitational pull.
No, everything about that was wrong.
Yeah.
Like every word of what you said there was wrong. You never leave the gravitational pull of Earth. That's not something that happens.
Oh, so yeah, that's true. That's probably true.
Yeah, like for instance, the International
never
Space
actually
Station
do
has
go to space
88% of the gravitational
Nobody
acceleration
goes
that we
into
do.
space.
Yeah, apart from all
They
the
can go
astronauts that
very
have,
high.
of course.
But it can't
So,
go into space.
So the rocket takes off from Earth, right? And before it takes off, it's got a tangential velocity of 66,000 miles an hour. If it is to lose that momentum, there has to be a force in the opposite direction of equaling 66,000 miles an hour. Just because the rocket adds thrust to go in another direction doesn't mean it then loses the tangential velocity it had in the other direction. The conservation of momentum says that it will still maintain that energy at that velocity. No, it doesn't.
Maintain the
Telling
last
you, every
trajectory
flat
it
earther
took
needs to
once
play
it
Kerbal
entered
Space
once
Program.
it's inside
Everyone.
a
Yeah,
gaseous
exactly.
environment, you will no longer have that. You will not. It will just.
Why
move up.
why
There's
why
no
would you lose?
direction it
Why
entered
would you
in.
lose? Why would
There's
you?
no way of changing it without.
Why would
an
you
outside
lose?
force.
No. Why would you lose the momentum that you had when you were on the Earth?
No, you wouldn't. I'm not saying you would. Theoretically, you would. You wouldn't lose it. That's the problem.
Exactly. Okay.
Theoretically, it'd just carry on going in a straight line.
It would go the
It wouldn't
same
be following
direction
any
as
of
the
the
Earth.
momentum. It was simply following the last momentum that it was thrown on.
Yeah, and so it would
Because it hasn't
basically
got
follow
momentum.
the same
So how is
momentum
it
as the
still
Earth.
keeping up? Because it's heading away.
It's not heading away. As
It
it
is.
left the
How
Earth,
are you
it had
getting
the
that
same
fire?
tangential
It's gotta be
velocity
heading
as the
away.
Earth. But it had the
In a
same
frictionless
tangential
environment, it's heading away.
Yeah. But it still maintains the same tangential velocity as the Earth and the Moon that are rotating around the Sun.
Technically, and if you make the assumptions that you want to,
I don't need to make any
then
assumptions.
maybe
Facts aren't
you possibly
assumptions.
could say that, but there's no way of verifying
So-
that, is there? Because
Well,
nobody
absolutely
here
there
can
is,
go out
because
into
we've been to
and
space.
verify that this is actually happening.
No, but other people have been
There
to
isn't
space.
nobody. There's nothing. All we've got is video, films, and cartoons.
Right, okay. I don't care that you don't agree with the videos
I know you don't
and
care.
photos.
You're not
because
really interested
Alright,
in the truth or the
no,
facts.
I am
You're
interested
only
in the truth and the facts
interested in
because I have them.
all.
We actually have
You want to
photos
make us
and
look like we're
videos.
some kind of
Now,
Borg or
right,
something, walking
let me
around
ask you one
upside
quick
down.
question. A little non sequitur, but a quick question, right? Are photos and videos acceptable evidence in a court of law?
Well, the difference between a photo and a video is they're done live, isn't they? You're
That
talking
wasn't
about
what.
something that's been
Listen to the
generated by a
question.
computer.
Listen to the question. Are photos and videos acceptable evidence in a court of law?
I should imagine in some cases, yes.
Okay, cool. This is a photograph.
No, it's a photograph, but it's not a photograph of something that's real.
I mean, it's a photograph that was taken with a
But
physical
not
camera.
something that's real.
But then how is there a photograph of it?
What do you mean how is a photograph of it? How do you explain Captain Spock coming from Vulcan? It's not real.
I didn't realize I
Somebody
muted myself
invented
so
it.
No,
long ago.
Somebody come
nobody's
up with
ever
it.
said that Captain Spock coming from Vulcan was real.
No, but you're trying
Spock
to tell me. You're trying
and
to say
actually,
just
when
because
Spock first came from
just
Vulcan,
because
let's get
that
hold on.
image was taken-
When Spock first came from Vulcan and joined Starfleet, he was an ensign, not a captain. He didn't become a captain until he took command of the Enterprise E after Kirk was injured. So get your facts right, okay?
I didn't say he was a captain, did I?
You said Captain Spock.
Spock. How do you think Spock did? But either way,
Well, they
it's
use
all
warp
fantasy,
drive,
and that's
so-
where you're living when you're telling me that.
But this is the thing.
that's a photograph
This
of
is
the Earth.
actually a photograph. No one ever said that Spock was real. This is a photograph.
Well, you're trying to say that this photograph is real. That's
Yeah.
not Earth. That's not Earth.
I disagree.
That's not
It
a
looks like
picture of
Earth.
Earth.
The person that took it with the camera would disagree.
Trying to look like an Earth.
And how did they do that?
Why did they do it is the question.
No, how did they do it?
How did they do it?
Yeah.
Photoshopping it.
In 1972.
Yeah.
Photoshop was, I first think, used in 1992. That's when Adobe created Photoshop.
That's when the public got hold of it.
Right, so Adobe created Photoshop earlier for NASA.
No, the software to do this has been around for donkey's years. It's been around since the 40s.
You got any evidence of that?
They used to use it.
Right,
in
Barry.
Films. That's what it's being used for now.
That's a very, very big claim that they had Photoshop and stuff in 1972.
Look at Harryhausen. See where you'll get.
I'd like you to demonstrate Photoshop from 1972 for me, please.
They've been using special effects for donkey's years.
Yeah, this is a photograph, though. It was developed on a physical film.
Oh, of course it was, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was. Absolutely. Well done.
Yeah.
So every time you say to me, show me the ball with the gas around it, I'm just going to show you this because that's exactly what you're asking for.
Because
I don't care if you don't believe it or not.
You ain't got nothing
else. Oh no, I've got literally millions of. Oh, there's lots of experiments. All the experiments we do when we go to space show that it's a fact.
I keep saying that. I keep hearing that. You know when it comes down to actual real life. Blank.
Yeah, like all the experiments that follow the scientific method and prove you wrong.
You'll show me a cartoon of a ball, and then you'll tell me that's proof, and then you'll show me the inside of a tokamak nuclear reactor and claim that gas being held down by what?
Basically, Perry, your entire argument is I don't understand physics, therefore the Earth is flat.
What do you mean, therefore?
That's basically your argument. Well, it's not flat. It's been measured. All right, okay. Time for you to answer some questions then, Terry. Right? If the Earth's flat, where the
you said it's been measured. So how?
Absolutely. About 24,000 miles in circumference.
Oh right. And it's a ball, yeah.
It's an oblate spheroid, yes.
Oh, it's an oblate spheroid now. Because all the pictures you've shown me have got perfect balls.
No, this is a picture of an oblate spheroid.
That is a perfectly round ball. That's perfectly round.
No, it's not. It's an oblate spheroid. That's slightly larger below the equator than it is above the equator.
That's a football.
That is definitely not a football.
But it's definitely not an oblate spheroid.
No, it absolutely is. That is slightly larger below the equator than it is above the equator.
I mean, come on. You telling me the top scientists are calling that an oblate spheroid?
Yeah, because it's not perfectly round.
Stop it, son. Stop it.
There's a 42-mile difference in the polar diameter as the equatorial diameter.
Oh, right. So it's not like Neil deGrasse Tyson claims it's not pear-shaped.
Well, it is slightly because it's slightly larger below the equator.
Right, you can see that. It's dead obvious.
Yeah, 42 miles. That's the difference. Now, I think it's time for Brainy and I to ask you some simple questions because you just said you can see it's flat, right? So if you can see it's flat, Barry, I'm going to ask you the first one. No, Brainy, actually, you know what? Ask him a question about the flat Earth. He says it's flat and you can see it's flat. Ask him a question about it.
Oh my God! You just sneak these on me. That's why I'm not good at you guys tried to do that improv thing. I was the worst.
All right. All right.
No. Okay. So wait. Okay. Ice wall. How tall is it? I want to know.
I couldn't tell you the exact height of it.
All right. Okay.
Penguin Army, yes or no?
All I can tell you is Antarctica is the highest continent on the flat Earth.
Penguin Army, yes or no?
Sorry?
Seriously.
Penguin Army, yes
or no?
Well, yes.
All right.
Yes, Penguin Army.
Here's a big question for you, Barry. The sun, yeah? You know, the big round thing in the sky that makes everyone hot and burny. Where the fuck does it go at night?
Why doesn't it fall down and go boom,
boom?
What
do you mean at night? It goes somewhere else to be day.
Okay. Why can't you see it?
Why? Because it's too far away.
Well, but the Earth's flat and it's above you. You should still be able to see it.
Well, yeah, it is. It doesn't quite work out because it is quite wide, isn't it?
What is the Earth?
Yeah.
Right, cool. I think I'm going to have to open up Paint here to ask you some questions.
Start with the ones aged 1 through 3. Those are usually the best. They got the brightest colors. They usually keep their attention the longest. That's your best bet to start. And then we move like Vlad. You'd never keep him if you went 4 to 6. You'd never keep him because everything starts becoming grays and a lot of like maroons and stuff like that. You know, rouges and things. So yeah, you know, you really need bright colors for a lot of the flat earthers. Just remember that.
Right. Okay.
Can I ask you a quick question, Beaver? Can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
A quickie. Just a quickie. Do you think flat Earth is a religious movement?
I love quickies. Give her. I tell my wife all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think flat Earth is
Go ahead.
a religious movement?
Definitely.
Most of the people that are the biggest flat earthers are religious. Yes, I do. I very strongly do. In fact, just to carry that forward one sentence, and I'll let you go back to you if you had a follow up, is that one of the biggest comments I notice out of flat earthers is their constant reference to the fact that they always reference how they used to believe the Earth was round like us, but they always add they used to believe they were insignificant and not important. So I do find that a lot of people that believe in flat Earth, it's born out of a necessity to feel like there's more and there's an importance to their life, which I get. We all have that desire, but I think for some of us it starts clouding our vision is what starts happening. Because the thing I always follow it with is, just to end that, is, you know, again, I think I said this to you, is that I don't think religion has to mean or like flat earth, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think science has to mean religion's not true, because there's not a lot of scientists out there that actually say that, you know, God isn't. I mean, I guess they do say that they don't believe God is real, but at the end of the day, if you ask them, if you really sat down and said, like, can you disprove God? I mean, any objective scientist should honestly say, and I would say it too, is like, no, I can't disprove him. I can't disprove it any more than I can disprove anything.
No one can disprove God.
Well, yeah, and so don't get me wrong. If I end up being wrong, that's great. The good news is that the Bible says that he's all forgiving and stuff like that. So as long as I'm not a complete heinous dipshit, if there's room in heaven for a guy who, like, well, if there's room in heaven for a guy who R's and pillages, you know, then I don't see why there's not room for a guy who maybe was a little more questioning of the dynamics of religion and the things that are stated in the Bible, especially since there are contradictions in it. So that's what I'm saying. I think
flat Earth's a religious.
What about you, mate?
Definitely, because to believe something without evidence is religion, basically. So 100%, it's a cult, pretty much, as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, right, let's get back to my example. All right.
Yeah.
So let's say this is the circle of the flat Earth, okay? And this is the sun, right? Now, the terminator line on a flat Earth would be straight. On a globe, that's obviously curved to match the curve of the Earth. But this is what the terminator line looks like on a flat Earth, okay? So everything this side is light and everything this side is dark. Would you agree with that?
Well, if that's the example, no, to be honest.
How do you disagree with that?
I agree with what you're saying. I agree. I hear what you're saying.
I mean, we know the terminator line on a flat plane would look like that based on geographical location, right? Yep. So if the sun is
the billboard to zoom out, so many recollections.
If the sun is over here, right? Obviously, it can only light up half of the Earth, so it's going to be this half that's lit up, right? Now, that presents a problem because the distance from the sun to here is less than the distance from the sun to here. Okay? So why does the light here travel longer than the light here?
Well, you drew out a circle with the assumption that we're on a round object and just assumed it again. Because they've been showing you round all the time. I mean, to be honest, I'm not even sure if the Earth is actually round.
I mean, cartographers have mapped out the Earth, and all projections of a globe, you know, especially, you know, azimuthal equidistant projections would be round.
I understand that. I know what you're saying. I understand that. But what I'm saying here is, right, they may have, but the measurements are obviously wrong. I mean, let's be honest. Black Swan's already proved that.
It's pretty hard to perfectly measure something that big. Like even now with lasers and satellites.
Sorry. Who did you say had proved it?
Here's the two things I'm going to say. Just two things on that, and I won't say no more. You've got the north, what you class as the North Pole, and you've got what you class as the South Pole. Has anybody ever circumnavigated all the way around north and south?
Yeah, recently it was done by a team.
To be taken all the way around the north.
Yeah.
Well, they had flights that used to do it too. They always claim they didn't, but they did. They just don't do it anymore.
Let me answer your question, Terry. Let me answer your question. Yeah, recently it was done. Recently, it was done by a team called One More Orbit, who circumnavigated from north to south and live streamed the entire thing. It's been done many times.
Oh, great, great. What was the what was again? What was the name again?
It's called One More Orbit.
One More Orbit.
Yeah, they circumnavigated from from north to south, the entire globe.
Probably talking about a satellite right now, or a team on the ground.
No, it was a team that circumnavigated from north to south, and they
used
flew
to
a
do
plane
flights.
continuously.
Delta. You can look up news, old black and white people. There's people that went on the flights. They used to offer, because it was a big gimmick. It was like the X many years of flying or something like that. And they did it. I think they did more than one flight, and of course they were going to recreate that more recently, I thought, but then. But the problem with flying over the South Pole, I mean, okay, so provided you believe that, so let's imagine the Earth is real, and you look at the actual planet, and you look at where the South Pole is located.
I keep my stuff there.
I agree, but let's just pretend for his sake that Earth is round and we're right. Now, if you look at where the South Pole is, it's really quite obviously out of the way of almost everything, since most of the land on the entire planet is in the northern hemisphere, and all you have is these three, you have like Australasia, and then you have the bottom end of Africa poking down, and the bottom end of South America, and that's it. And so really there's not a lot of flights between a lot of those cities anyways, and they're really far apart. And so you're already going a long way. Well, the last thing you want to do is take a sightseeing adventure over a continent that has absolutely nowhere to land in case you have an emergency. So the problem is, realistically, it makes absolutely no sense to even fly over those locations. And then they claim like, well, they don't fly over it. Well, yeah, no shit. Same reason that I don't drive all the way down a bush farm road to go to the city. It's just not on my effing path. Like, it just doesn't make sense. These things they ask them to do, it's very odd. And it doesn't like even things like, economics of things. Like they always say, well, they want this, but like the economics of it don't even make sense. It's just not even how money works. People aren't just throwing money into a tube. Well, unless it's a meat tube, that shit gets money. Anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So, you said
meat tubes in all forms make money. Okay, we all know how much
beehub makes. Go ahead.
Yeah. So sorry, you said that.
Guys are too serious for me. Sorry.
No, you said that all measurements are wrong, and you said somebody had proven that. Who was it you said had proven it?
Had proven? Oh, he was talking about the
measurements of
the measurement.
No, the black swan isn't a measurement.
Remember, they were claiming that the reason it looks flat is because of refraction. So
refraction's been quantified and verified by experimentation.
Oh, yeah, but not in the photo. It's been just established that there is such thing as refraction. That's all about.
Well, of course, there's refraction in the photo because we're looking through an atmosphere.
Your photo only sees where the result.
It was like a bit of a weak excuse. It was a bit of a weak excuse, you know what I'm saying? Because you gotta wonder. I mean, if refraction,
how is it a weak excuse when refraction's been quantified and that's what it says should be done?
Is that common? How have you measured it properly?
Because there's been many experiments done on
laboratory. They can take a container, they can fill it with a specific gas that they know exactly what the molecular weight is of the gas.
Can I
you asked for let me finish this. You asked how the fuck they would know, and this is the answer.
They assumed the size of Venus and assumed Earth was the same size.
No, you've never assumed.
No, they've done more than that. They used that initial.
They did.
Yes.
No. Parallax
there was assumptions made initially.
They assumed
Venus
was the same size.
Yeah, but when I look at so hold on, wait. So you're in the shop. You're telling me that you can't deduct in real life, because you can do this with other things. The other day I was looking at Google Maps, okay? And I had to figure out, for a job I'm trying to do, I had to figure out how many feet tall the building would be for a chimney liner. And chimney liner is only 33 feet. So I got to figure out 33. Oh my God. So wait, continuing. The liner's only 33 feet long, and I need to make sure that I can even fit it through this chimney on this building. So I look up Google Maps. Well, I don't have a reference point laying on the side of the building. So, you know, I took a woman standing there. She looked about X high. I used other objects as a reference mark and everything. And I took the woman and I pasted her. I just copied and pasted her on top of her own shoulders a bunch of times and added it up and got a rough approximation. Now, am I going to be dead center? If I went out and put the tape measure down, do you think I'll be right on to the inch? Well, I doubt it. But do you think that I was within 10 or 15% or within a reasonable amount of size, whatever, for just a shot in the darkness of trying to like take these objects and compare them? So that's called deduction and using human logic and intuition. And if you are a religious person, this is the brain that Lord is supposed to have given us. And for us to just shut it down and not use that ability.
We're talking about a scientific expedition here. You're talking about
A scientific expedition for what? Sorry.
Yeah, they were measuring when they were claimed to be measuring the Earth.
Doesn't matter. It's talking about the realities of human deduction. If you don't like being an intelligent human, then stop trying to pretend to be one.
Okay, hold on.
Intelligent, believe in something that hasn't been proven.
Wait, hold on.
How's that classified?
It's been very much proven. Just because you can't believe in what's right before your eyes.
Hold on.
Guys,
hold on. Barry, are you saying
words, not mine.
They had to assume the size of Venus to measure the Earth?
No, they did. They did.
Okay, none of the measurements that I'm talking about.
The same.
Hold on. None of the measurements I'm talking about. Barry, hold on. Barry, stop. Barry, stop. None of the measurements I'm talking about are anything to do with Venus. It's been measured. Well, they measured Earth and found out it had a curve. Different teams throughout history. Different teams throughout history, teams that measured it across the United States, across India, across Europe, across Great Britain. They all used geodetic surveying methods to measure the Earth, and they all came to the same conclusion. Even though they all did it independently and had never ever spoken to each other. How did they do that? There was no assumptions there. They didn't have to look at Venus to do geodetic surveying methods.
So whose measurement are they using for the calculator, the curve calculator?
They didn't use a curve calculator. They physically measured it.
Measurements are being used for the curve calculator.
Just it's a non sequitur. It's just the agreed upon measurements. The curve calculator shows you what you should see if the Earth is this curved. You could.
Agreed by. I was just wondering. You mean by the scientific community?
By everyone that's ever measured it.
Oh right, just those people then. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because they would be the ones to determine how big it would be. Yeah, the photographs show you how big it is when you take a photo of the entire thing, and it matches the measurements that we say.
And now, it doesn't seem strange to you that the horizon doesn't keep dropping the higher you go.
Oh, it does. That's a different point. We can absolutely get to that.
The higher you go, the further out it stretches.
We can get to that about how wrong you are, but we're going to talk about the refraction first.
You can't, because
one thing at a time, Barry, Terry. One thing at a time, okay? Now, you were talking about the refraction, right? And how we know about refraction. Well, refraction's been quantified quite extensively, right? We know what a gradient of temperature and pressure does to light. And this is a simulation that was knocked up based on our understanding, right? Now, this is looking at a day of standard refraction at the oil rigs that the famous Black Swan was on, right? Now, I'm just going to have a little muck about here and say, if I change the temperatures a little bit, let's move that one in there. Can add an extra point there and bring that up. And look, just by saying that the temperature has slightly changed between these 2 points, it looks like everything has changed.
Cartoon.
This isn't a cartoon. This is a simulation based on known data, based on how we know light acts when going through different mediums.
Use human inventions to figure shit out in the real world. Come on, man.
This is based on people actually. Hold on. No. Hold on. Let me finish my explanation. Barry, stop. Let me finish. Barry, stop. Barry, stop. Shut up. Barry, shut up. Let me finish. Barry, will you stop?
It's not about your
Barry, stop talking. Barry, Let me fucking finish what I'm saying. Seriously, right? We have done experiments on refraction, on what happens when light goes through certain mediums. This has been experimented on using the scientific method, right? Using that data, we know what light would do in certain conditions. And this is just showing you that on a globe Earth, seeing the horizon behind the actual things is completely possible. And all that it took was a reduction in temperature of 3 degrees between my zero, between the your eye level, which would be 0 and 40 feet, right? 2 degrees difference, 3 degrees difference between 40 feet would cause this. It would change the lapse rate enough, all right? But if it's all straight, as it should be, it looks like that. Well, that's standard refraction. It shows you up here what the light's actually doing, depending on the medium that it's going through. This isn't just cartoons. This is a simulation based on data gathered from experiments.
Simulation. How far is the horizon measured on that simulation claimed to be?
The horizon is always going to be the same distance away.
No, but what sort of distance are you saying that horizon was? Because they measured, there was.
Well, it depends on refraction.
Horizon, wasn't it?
No, they didn't measure the distance to the horizon. They just said the horizon was further than this platform, which is about 9 miles away.
The black swan is about the horizon.
Yeah, I told you that. The horizon going beyond that point.
The horizon now.
I literally talked about the horizon just now. I just said, literally, just by changing the temperature gradient over this distance, the horizon goes behind the platform, which is their entire point.
Yes.
And that's perfectly possible on the globe Earth with just this little bit of change in refraction.
As well.
No, actually it's not. Because refraction will work different on a flat Earth, right? This flat refraction will work differently on... I'm answering your question.
That was what you'd see if it was flat.
No, and I am trying to answer your question if you would stop your gums flapping. On a flat Earth, refraction will work different because you wouldn't have this curve that the atmosphere would follow. If the Earth was flat with refraction, this is mostly what you would see. Because the air gradient of temperature and pressure would cause the light to go up like that. This is based on experiments around refraction. If the Earth is flat, this is what the simulation, based on the data from experiments, says would happen.
Yeah, the horizon would rise, wouldn't it?
Sorry, do you see the horizon rising there?
Yeah, did you just see it when you was moving your cursor?
That's not the horizon. That's the light. That's the beam of light that we're looking at. That's what this yellow line that appears here represents the curve that you see, or whatever line through whatever bit of atmosphere it'd be looking through. But this is based on kind of standard refraction, what you would see if the Earth was flat. Does he have flat with on a clear day here? I don't think he does. No, that's kind of a normal clear day. But there's plenty of other observations
Computers
here.
are clearly made by the devil, and this information is blasphemy. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
but there's lots of other things here that are all you can just program in the data based on experiments and get what we see, and that's a prediction being verified. This is what we should see if the temperature.
We can verify these using lab conditions. That's the thing. This is just a simulation using what we verified using lab conditions
at the point when it was taken.
But that's what the simulations do.
Yeah, but we're saying what you saw on the day it was taken. But we're saying what you saw on the Black Swan. We're saying that when you see that,
see all those sliders?
That is something that is expected on a globe Earth. We can, depending on the conditions.
Those sliders are the weather sliders. That's how you change the humidity and you change the conditions. That's what the sliders are.
Expected to see on a ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't normally see it. That's our goddamn point. But you don't normally see it. You only occasionally see it. So why is that suddenly proof? God, you guys are just delusional. I swear to God, it's crazy.
Why is the horizon flat? You're on
because
a ball.
The horizon is a 2D cross section of a 3D shape.
Of course it is, and it's flat.
Yeah, because it's a 2D cross section of a 3D shape.
Yeah, because it's flat.
Because it's a 2D cross section of a 3D shape. It's supposed to be flat.
What do you think the distance
is between one side
but it doesn't make it any less real.
What do I think is the distance between this
The
picture and the other
distance
side?
in the real picture.
In the real picture, well,
Because
platform.
what you've had to do is
I'm
make
trying
up
to
a
answer your
simulation
question.
to try
I'm
and
trying to
prove-
answer your
to try and
question.
pretend
I'm
that you've
trying
got
to
over the
answer
real
your
point.
question, Barry. You asked me a
The
question. Let me
question
answer
here,
the
the
question.
question here is right. One's a
Barry,
real
you asked
photograph and one's a
you asked the
simulation.
question. Let me answer the question. This habitat in the background is supposed to be about 9 miles away, right? So
Yeah.
that is the only reference we have as to how far away the
So
apparent
much.
horizon is.
There were
The
two.
physical
One was 9,
horizon.
one was 11.
Well, okay, 11 then, all right? But
Getting
the
old here.
physical, I know, we all are. The physical horizon never
Oh
changes.
my god.
All right, refraction exists. The black swan is something that would be expected on a globe Earth under certain conditions. Simple.
If you're not mentally stable.
No, if you understand what facts are.
If you're not mentally stable.
That's a brilliant non sequitur and attempt at an ad hom.
I mean,
But,
this
you
is
know,
this is something we could go back and forth on for a while and arguing who's who.
Come up with some kind of pretend master. Oh yeah,
So,
it's
Barry,
definitely-
why is there no
Yeah,
measurements
it's
of the
a
Earth being
full
flat?
slab.
When you're that close,
Barry, why is there no measurements
Angry,
of the
here you
Earth
go.
being flat?
there is measurements.
Please point me to one.
Zetetic astronomy.
That was almost words.
I've already pointed to you. You just don't want to look.
Zetetic astronomy, and what did he do to measure
Zetetic.
the Earth? Zetetic astronomy. What did he do to measure the Earth?
We'll go and read it and you'll find out.
Well, that entire page was removed when I tried to go to it. So,
It's not a page, it's a book.
and in that book, how did he measure the Earth?
How did he measure the Earth?
Yeah, how did he
The same
measure
way
the Earth
everybody
being
does.
flat?
You take distances. You go to places, you take distances, you measure distances.
And
How wide is the
how
pencil
did he
across
come
it?
to the determination that the Earth was flat?
Because you can't circumnavigate. You can only circumnavigate east-west. only go
There's
round in a
literally a
circle.
yacht race
You can
going on
only
right
go round
now.
in a circle to go round.
Hold on,
the
hold
Earth.
on. There's
One circle.
literally a yacht race going on right now that circumnavigates from north to south.
From north to south, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's from the inside to the out. Yeah.
You just said that you can't do that, except it's being done
No,
right now.
you can't go all the way round.
But they're doing it right now.
They're not.
But again, Barry,
They're not.
that's not a measurement. Just saying they couldn't circumnavigate isn't a measurement
it's a
of the
very
No,
Earth
they
being
can't
flat.
circumnavigate
Goddamn
all
answer,
the way
okay?
through from north, go all the way south,
Right,
and then
cool.
come back. Go
All right,
across the south
saying
pole.
saying that they can't circumnavigate isn't a measurement of the Earth being flat. A measurement.
Can't go all the way round north.
Yeah, that's
south.
not a measurement. A measurement requires
No, it's a
units.
flat.
Can't go where
You
I
can't
ran
do it
your
because we're on a
mom
flat
So-
surface.
Except you can because it's
We're
been
on a
done
flat
many
plane.
times. It's been done many
Mom?
times. You can
Or
just
the-
ignore the
what are
fact
we
that it's
talking
been
about?
done, but listen very
Hasn't been
closely to the question, Barry. Can you please point me to a measurement of the Earth being flat? A measurement contains units, significant digits, and a margin of error analysis.
Okay, give me a few seconds and I will.
I don't think you will.
I know you won't.
How do you enjoy this beautiful festive fire?
Yes, lovely, lovely. I just want to say to everyone watching, thank you. You are amazing, and I hope everyone's going to have an awesome Merry Christmas, knowing that Nathan Thompson will be crying himself to sleep instead of getting presents from Santa.
God, it's amazing.
Lots of people are like, oh, but it's censorship. It's not fucking censorship. YouTube is a private company. If you break their rules, they reserve the right to remove your
That's what I
channel.
said in your comment there on
Do
the
you want me to
comment
paste it
section.
into? Do you want me to paste it? I pasted it into the email.
Just screen share it if you like.
I haven't got the.
All right, I'll refresh my email.
Need vape juice money.
I don't have an email from you, Barry. Oh wait, there we go. New message from Barry. Yeah, that's just
Hold on.
Barry, you just sent me an empty email.
I'll go back.
It's empty, guys. It's empty.
So,
vape juice.
How's your kid's present hole looking, Brainy?
Better than my present hole's looking.
Well, it's
I'm
not
just-
about us,
I'm
is
just-
it? It's about the
I-
kids.
I know, I'm kidding. Listen. All I said, listen. You want to be cheap? All I'm asking for is you for Christmas, baby. Just come down with a bow on. I'll unwrap everything. But no.
Wait, you talking to me?
Seriously, and hey, listen. If you can help my channel grow, we'll talk. The flat Earth, the shills versus shills, has already got that clipped. He's edited it. He's like, I knew it.
Oh,
anyway,
Flat Earth
he loves
Bible
you,
Zetetic
FTFE,
Astronomy.
just so you know.
Um,
That guy is in love with you. Not you, buddy.
I don't see anything there that relates to a measurement. Can you tell me where the measurement is?
Mr. Sensible, that's funny.
Just click through. Just click through.
Just click. It's a relatively large website.
Well,
a little direction would be handy.
You'll go to a preface, and then you can pick whichever you want to do.
Yeah, and none of those things in the preface said about a measurement.
You want to look at.
So this is what we've got here. Flat Earth. Where is the curve? Flat water. Flat Earth. Globe is dead. Which one am I looking at that's got the measurement in? You can't just say, here's a website that says the thing without, explaining. I mean, I could point you to a website, mctoon.net/r, that has an entire list of measurements that you can just click on. I don't see anything here that says a measurement. Let's have a look at where is the curve. A video that has been removed, so you can't watch it, which is helpful. No, nothing in there about a measurement. Let's try the next one.
Probably said Baba Booey or anti-mask. No, that's the one, actually.
Here we go. Here's the next one. Water proves flat Earth. No, I don't see any measurements
that's
there.
Proof right there, boy. Come on, man. That's proof.
No, definitely no measurements there. Next one. Book, Zetetic Astronomy. Conclusive evidence the world is not a rotating, revolving globe.
Yeah, you want to have a good look at that one.
Oh God!
Yeah,
sure.
no, I don't see any measurements there. Just misunderstanding of physics, pretty much. Air Force maps prove flat Earth.
Question last time. I'm curious.
Oh, it's another one that's been removed, and of course, every pilot in the world would disagree with you. Unreal virtuality. Still not seeing. No measurements.
Has the email come through?
Oh, so it wasn't in what you sent me.
Pause it off.
Oh, sorry, I'm dying apparently in my chair. I'm okay. I can do this.
No, sacred texts. Is that it? Oh, Robotham. Are we talking about Parallax, the guy that did the Bedford Level experiment?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was done like 2 years later by Wallace. Just moved the viewing device a little bit further away from the water where it would be less refraction, and saw that it was curved. That they went to court and Robotham was forced to pay Wallace some money because he lost the bet about that proving the Earth was flat. So yeah, I've actually made an entire video about the Bedford Level experiment.
Down. The little kink in the section, you mean?
No, there was no kink. It was literally lower than it was higher.
Actually,
sorry, stop saying that word. I'm sure you're triggering me.
There'll be a diagram in that somewhere.
Yeah, no diagrams. Just this here.
You click on them, and it'll take you to a page, won't it?
You're gonna say something like "There's no kink." I mean, that's
not
how my life operates.
I've debunked the Robotham's attempt at the Bedford Level experiment, which also
go to the top,
wasn't
the word
a measurement,
and it'll come up.
Again, that wasn't a measurement. There was no units. There was no there was no significant figures. There was no margin of error analysis. So I'll ask again, could you please point me to just one single measurement, just one, of the Earth being flat? If anyone wants to see my debunk of the Bedford Level experiment, check out Explaining the Simple Stuff to Flerfs, episode 3, with me and scientist Mel went over it.
At the same time, if you want to see something really, really kinked out, I mean, hey, Man Devil, that's some interesting. Your wife's been having interesting dreams. That could constitute some form of like assault towards Mr. Sensible's character. I'm just kidding. Hey, listen, you guys can storm the chat window if you want to see what's happening.
Roy Schneider.
Which one?
Doesn't that give you measurements?
Air Force maps. Air Force maps.
Yeah,
I
is
thought you were
that what?
talking about me for a second, man.
No,
Devil. I got
they-
really excited,
they-
and then I saw
Doesn't
Mr.
that give you
Sensible.
flat Earth measurements? Tells
No,
you where
be-
they stopped off for
because
fuel,
that's actually been
refueling.
removed, so I can't even see the video that you're talking about. So
So
no.
they removed it. See what I'm saying? Anytime there is proof, they get rid.
Proof. Air Force maps follow the Havershine formula, which works only on a globe.
Yeah, yeah. If you
Yeah,
want to, it might work. Yeah.
You know, I worked in the Royal Navy for many years and spoke to many people that work in the Air Force and the Navy Air Arm, and you know, they all knew the Earth was a globe because they required it for their navigation.
And they're all as brainwashed as you, claiming that it's on a ball. They're on a ball.
Well, no, because a lot of their jobs depended on knowing it was a ball. Like, for instance, when I was asked to calculate the fuel requirement based on navigational data on a sphere.
That's all. You don't have to allow for no curve or nothing.
Oh, they absolutely do.
They don't.
No, they absolutely do.
They just take the right bearings and head towards that, to head towards it.
Yeah, but all the bearings are
They don't
based
have
on
to account for
calculations
no
from a
curve.
globe.
Why would you need to? Why would you need to?
That's because that's how calculations for distances are done, using the Havershine formula and the Great Circle route, which only work on a, say it with me everybody, a globe.
On a flat, non-rotating.
So I'm over here doing cocaine.
Nope, nothing.
I'm
that's
joking.
flat.
As stated by rocket scientists.
No, rocket scientists have never said that the Earth is flat and non-rotating.
Not to your face.
To anyone's face. Rocket scientists send shit to space.
They have. That's why that stuff was top secret. You're not supposed to know.
You're going to be set on fire there, Brainy.
Get out of here. This guy keeps coming back with toilet paper on a stick.
Of course, NASA and all rocket scientists think that the Earth is flat. That's brilliant. Except that, you know, you ask NASA and they'll tell you the Earth's a globe. And then they'll show you photos of
They're
it.
going to tell you the honest truth because they don't want you to know something.
Yeah, they're going to tell you the honest truth. Here's a globe.
No, they ain't.
Nutter doesn't work
Taken
here.
from an impossible place.
So you say because you don't understand physics.
Oh no, I don't need to understand. I know that.
Correct.
I do
You don't need to
that gas
understand
pressure
physics
doesn't
because
work like that.
you don't care
It
about
does not
anything.
work like that. That's
Gas
why
pressure
you're
works
unable
fine.
to show any
Gas
demonstration
pressure
or
works fine.
experiment that showed it does.
Apart from the 5 experiments that I keep mentioning that you can't debunk.
No, but you're the one making the outlandish claims. You're the one claiming that a ball can do this. You're claiming
I'm showing
that
it to you
on a
right
ball
now.
Can do this.
I'm
Why?
showing
You're
it to
the
you
one that
right
should be
now.
Coming up with this proof.
I'm showing it to you right now.
No, you're showing me. You're showing me some garbage. You're trying to claim is there.
So you say,
And nothing
can
there-
you please...
Nothing there proves that gas
Hey,
sticks
do
to the
me a
outside
favor.
of the ball.
Do me a
You
favor.
Just show me a picture.
Please show me your photo forensic analysis qualifications.
No. Look, see what I'm saying? Anything that isn't real life. That's what you're trying to say. Anything that isn't in real life.
What's not in real
Yeah,
life?
no,
Something you can't do
That's what you're
yourself
saying.
because you're not
If it's
allowed
not
to, or
real,
you haven't
if it's
trained
not
to, or
reality,
you don't
you
work
can-
there.
You can claim that it's
Yeah,
real.
but have you made emerald have you made emerald jewels for necklaces? Because I mean they exist.
I don't know. Why would
but-
I want to do that? So
well, because apparently nothing exists if you haven't seen it with your own eyes. So do you know for a fact that those are man-made?
So let's get back to the point anyway. You're claiming.
Well, no,
that
I
ball
think the
can
entire
support
point
gas.
is how you
You're
don't
saying
trust
that ball can
anything
support
that
gas
you don't
from the
see with your own
outside while
eyes.
it's inside of
Yeah,
that
you
gas.
use a phone that uses
Gravity's real.
technology.
You've not got scientific proof
God
that
damn,
is
you're naive.
possible.
We have. Gravity's real.
You haven't. You keep
Yeah,
saying you have. All you've got
Yeah,
is that
we have.
photograph and
Gravity's
something
real.
about
Gravity can
talking
do
about
that.
Nuclear reactor.
Gravity is real. Gravity can do that.
Oh yeah, of course it can. You just
Yeah.
can't prove it again.
I
As
can, using
usual.
all the experiments I keep mentioning that you
can't.
ignore.
You show me
Drop a
inside-
microphone if
inside
it makes
of
you
a
feel
nuclear
better.
reactor and a photograph that you're
No,
claiming is real.
Yeah, well, you can't deny that the photograph, but
That's
I've
not
also,
proof, is it?
I've also got about 15 million other photographs.
Let's be honest, right?
And
If someone's
about
presenting
15
that and
million
claiming that this is a
videos.
scientific fact, you thought they'd have showed you the experiment that proves it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's called the Cavendish experiment.
It's not. That's got nothing to do. When did they use? What gas was used? What were they using?
Does gas have mass? They used mass.
What,
I thought
to
you
do
said it
what?
doesn't have mass. Well, wait.
do what
He
exactly?
said it doesn't have mass anyway, so why would the gas matter?
No, but
if
what,
they're doing
what
the
exactly did he do? Did he display? Did he show you a ball with gas around it?
He showed that mass attracts mass.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I
Because
don't-
you're claiming that's
I'm
what the
saying
Earth's
he's
doing.
no.
Remember?
I'm saying that we can show that mass attracts mass.
You're showing that you can't actually prove it's
He doesn't
real.
even know what you're talking
Apart-
about
we
when you
can
say
because
Cavendish.
mass
That's
attracts
the
You're
mass.
showing
reality.
that you're talking a load of crap.
Oh, just because you don't understand
Well,
that
you
mass
didn't know the
attracts mass.
Cavendish
I don't
was.
need to. If you understand my question, that you're claiming that the Earth It's surrounded by gas.
I'm showing you a picture of it now, you moron.
Instead of pushing out as it naturally would inside a vacuum. And
Yeah,
while
there's a
it's doing
force
that,
acting
it's
on it
spinning,
because of gravity.
Oh, come on, sort your head out, mate.
We know it's spinning. That's been measured as well.
Oh, yeah, right. That's why you never have any real proof. Nothing that can be truly...
Apart from all the experiments, of
That's
course.
proof.
Apart from all the experiments, and then flat earthers have no
assume that it
proof,
is.
no evidence at all, nothing, not a single experiment, not a single
haven't.
measurement.
Hey, their
I
mommies
don't
told them
need
they were
to, because
special.
you can't
Shut
prove
up.
that what's happening here can happen on a ball.
Yes, I
It
can.
prove it happens on a flat surface.
Mass attracts mass.
That can be
End of story.
proven. It can be proven on a flat
mass
surface.
attracts mass. Mass attracts mass can be absolutely
The
scientifically
a biosphere can prove
verified.
that it can be done on a flat surface. You can't prove it can be done on a ball. That's what your problem is.
What can be done on the flat surface?
No matter what you're talking
What
about.
are you showing can be
gravity.
done on the flat
I don't know what he's
surface?
It's sort of
saying
crap.
either.
Gravity ain't a force.
Barry,
You know
what
it
are you
ain't.
showing
Talking
that can
about
be
water,
done
or is
on
he
a
talking
flat
about-
surface?
You just need to put a cover. You just need to cover. A hard surface cover.
But you don't, because there's
How do you think
gravity.
they built the biosphere?
There is no biosphere.
How do they
built
clean the
second one already.
biosphere? Big,
Oh,
hey,
yeah,
hey,
there was that
Harry,
experiment
how-
about living on another planet, but the
What do you
container
think
for
this
our
is then? What do
atmosphere
you think
is
this is?
gravity. The container for
What
our
are you claiming
atmosphere
this
is
is? You're
gravity.
claiming this is a
Venezuela?
planet?
The container for our atmosphere is
They have
gravity.
to, because it would go
God
off.
damn, that's
It
an
would just
episode.
leave, wouldn't it? It'd be an open system. You can't
The
get that- you
container
can't-
for our atmosphere is gravity.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it
Our
is.
atmosphere is gas. It's air.
Yeah, and the
Oxygen.
container for it is gravity.
No, it isn't, because you
Yes,
can't
it is.
prove it is.
I can.
Prove that
The Cavendish
gravity is-
experiment,
prove that
the
gravity
Schehelian
is
experiment,
holding down
the
gas.
Edison experiment
In
of
fact, try and
1919,
prove that gravity
the
can actually affect gas.
discovery of Neptune, the Pound Replica experiment. There's 5 experiments that show what I'm saying can happen.
You keep saying, "Oh, it can happen." It's not happening, is it?
Apart from the
nature.
experiments that demonstrate
That
it
is
can
not naturally
happen.
happening. Gas
It
isn't
absolutely
sitting
is.
next to a vacuum and not moving.
Except
The only way that's going to happen is something
gas isn't
physically
sitting next to a
stops it.
vacuum.
And it's
Gas
not.
I don't- I
wait,
don't work
hold
at
on.
that logo. If people
Gas
think they're
isn't
gonna
sitting
hunt me down
next
with
to a
that.
vacuum. Gas is sitting next to a slightly lower pressure of gas.
Yes,
That's it.
but what would gas do naturally? Move to the lower.
Well, why doesn't it
Something
do
is
that then?
physically stopping it.
Why doesn't it do that then?
But it is doing
Sure,
that.
it's not very
You're the one
flattering.
claiming
Wait,
it isn't.
no, wait, hold on. It's
You're
not.
the one claiming that you can go beyond any barrier.
Wait, are you saying? Wait, hold on. Are you saying that
I'm saying that
no, wait,
physics
hold on. Let
claims
me
that
finish
you
my
cannot
question.
move solid
No,
mass beyond the boundary, and you're
let
claiming
me
that
hold on,
boundary
hold on.
is
Stop,
gravity.
Barry.
which is
Stop,
garbage.
Barry. Stop jumping ahead. Right? You've just made lots of claims there, including the fact that you think that gravity cannot cause the atmosphere to stick to Earth, when we've shown that mass can attract mass. That's all we need to show.
No, it isn't. You need
Yes,
to
it
show
is.
it's doing what you're claiming it's doing here on Earth. That's what you need to do.
All right? But more importantly,
Anything
right?
else is just
But wait, hold on,
a load
hold
of
on.
crap.
More
because
importantly,
you can't
Barry,
prove
hold
a
on. More
natural-
importantly, you've just said that gas will always move from the higher to the lower pressure, right?
Yes.
Oh, so why doesn't it do that?
Because something is physically stopping it.
No. Even at the point where you say it's physically stopping it,
Something
there is
physically
wait,
stopping it.
hold on.
You won't.
Wait, hold on. There is, at the point where you say it's physically stopping, we know that there is practically a vacuum there. All right? So we know that there is a pressure that is high near the ground and low at the top. So why is the higher pressure not moving towards the lower pressure?
Let me ask you a question to answer your question. Why do you think physics, which is a study of physical matter, right? Why do you think they claim that it doesn't allow solid mass to pass the boundary? What are they referring to? They're saying
don't
that there's
say
a
that
boundary.
exactly.
What are they referring
Where
to?
have you ever read this?
Because anything that you're claiming does not.
You're-
Gravity doesn't adhere to that, does it?
right, okay. No,
Gravity doesn't do that. 'cause
You've
according to
totally,
you,
you've
you
totally
can
avoided
send
my point.
satellites out.
You've totally avoided my point, Barry.
Was running
100%.
into the
not.
forest.
Yeah, you absolutely 100% just ignored my point. You said that gas will always move from high pressure to
From
low
high to
pressure.
Yes.
So why does it not do that on Earth?
I answered that, didn't I? I told you there's something physically stopping it.
Yeah, but even at the point where it
Yeah, so did
apparently
haikus.
physically stops, there is a lower pressure up there than there is down here.
Yes, there is.
So the high pressure is not moving towards the low pressure, is it?
But something is stopping that from doing what it's doing. There's a physical barrier there.
Yeah, no. Okay, ignore the barrier.
There has to be
right?
a physical barrier there. That's why
But
they
Barry,
defined.
Barry, your claim is that gas will always expand in all directions equally, right?
Physics.
So why doesn't that happen? Why is there a pressure gradient where there is higher pressure at the ground and lower pressure as you go up?
Pressure gradient is in a closed system. You can't have a
Barry, you're not listening. Your own claim is
closed.
Right, Barry. Barry, stop and just pay attention. Barry, stop. Barry, shut up and just listen.
And I'm answering it.
You're not listening to the question, right? Even between the ground and 100 feet up, there is a pressure difference, right? At the ground, it is 14.7 psi. You go 100 feet up, and it's lower than that. There is a pressure difference. High pressure at the ground, low pressure 100 feet up. Why does the low pressure and high pressure?
Word pressure. You ain't getting any of that unless you're inside a container. Whether
gravity is the container,
or just pressure itself. You ain't getting that.
But Barry, you said that gas expands in all directions. Why isn't it expanding in all directions? Why is the high pressure not moving towards the low pressure?
The container and the nature of the container.
So you're saying that sometimes a container can still have low pressure at the bottom and high pressure at the top.
At pressure inside a balloon is different to putting gas at pressure inside a metal bottle.
Oh my God, I'm gonna have to break out fucking paint again, aren't I? Because you're just not getting this.
You ain't getting it, mate. The reason you ain't getting it is right because you cannot come up with the proof that gas can stick to the outside of a ball.
I have 5 experiments. I keep showing you. I keep telling you 5 experiments, but you ignore them.
I don't have to ignore them. None of these experiments showed you what I just asked you to prove.
Yeah, they all show that.
They don't show that.
They do. Right. Okay. So, right. This is going to be a side-on view of the Earth with a container, right?
It's not going to be an accurate one.
How to do a semicircle? Right. Hold on. I'm trying to put like a dome on it.
No, just letting you know that I know what an oblate spheroid looks like.
All right, okay, let's just do that quickly then.
Make sure the dome is made of at least diamondium, so that you're true to Futurama. Yeah. Or diamondium is also acceptable.
Tell the gas to stop obeying its.
Right, Barry, which one of these? Quickly before I get to the point about the dome, which one of these is an oblate spheroid?
Neither.
No, this one here. Well, it's not an oblate spheroid. It's an oblate circle. This one is not a perfect circle, but this one is. This one was 202 by 202. This one was 202 by 199. So this one is not a perfect circle, but this one is. All right.
Craig.
What?
It's not working, mate. Sorry.
What's not working?
Not working. I mean, they're two shapes. You're talking about a shape which is pretty well distinguishable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but one of those is a perfect circle and one isn't. Barry, one of these is a perfect circle and one isn't, right?
No, both of them are close to actually being a
yeah, but one is and one isn't.
Spheroid. That's what I'm trying to say.
But an oblate is anything that isn't a perfect shape. All right. Anyway, right. There isn't a semicircle thing, so I'm just
you're trying to fiddle over stupidness.
All right, and let's just do this first, and then just put a line for it. All right. So okay.
Closer to an oblate spheroid.
Yeah, but oblate is anything that isn't a perfect circle, right? Anyway, so ignore the bottom bit. Let's just look at the top bit, right? So this is the flat Earth, and this is the dome containing it. Okay. All right. Now. Right. At this point here, all right?
Yeah.
The pressure is 0.000001 psi, all right? But the pressure here is 14.7 psi, all right? That's how the atmosphere goes. So this here is a higher pressure than this here.
Yes.
Why is the high pressure not going towards the low pressure. Why is that not happening?
Because it's, like I said, balance, buoyancy. They're moving.
Balance
They're
and
constantly
buoyancy.
moving. Because let's be honest, right? It's the atmosphere is actually dynamic. It's not like you're trying to make it sound. You know what I'm saying? Where you've definitely got that in your head.
The dynamic can make a 14.7 psi difference.
Because now it's having to rest on top of other gases.
So what you're saying is gas doesn't expand equally in all directions.
I'm saying none of that would be there if there was nothing stopping it.
All right, but why is there more pressure
I know
here
that what's stopping
than
it
here?
isn't gravity. That's what I'm saying.
You say you know it, but you don't, because you can't explain why there's more pressure here than
gravity,
here.
Because gravity can't do that.
Gravity can do that because gravity makes mass attract mass.
No, but you can't display how gravity can affect the gas in that way, can you?
Yeah, I can, because the Cavendish experiment shows that mass attracts mass. The Schehelian experiment shows that mass attracts mass.
It doesn't show you gas on the outside of a ball. That's what I'm trying to explain
Is
to you.
gas massless, yes or no? The answer is no. Gas has mass. Mass attracts mass. There is no assumptions there. We have demonstrated that mass attracts mass. Which part of that don't you fucking understand?
Show us then.
The Cavendish experiment.
Show us how gas can stick to the outside of a ball.
Because mass attracts mass.
You're dumb enough to claim that you know it is.
Mass.
Let's see it happen. Let's see
Does
if your
mass,
maths is
right,
correct.
Does mass attract
Let's
mass?
see if
Yes.
your maths is correct. Can it
My
get
math
gas
is,
to stick to the outside of a ball?
my maths is correct because my
opposite
maths,
what it naturally
FG equals GM1M2 over R squared, says that can happen.
Yeah. I hear you.
You
But
just asked is my maths correct, but it's correct.
I don't see it.
Then go and look at the Cavendish experiment. Go and look at the Cavendish experiment.
Yeah, and it shows you gas on the outside of a ball, does it?
It shows mass attracting
like
mass.
You're claiming Earth is. You're claiming
I can show you a picture of Earth, and I can show you plenty. I can show you plenty of experiments that have shown outside of Earth that gas is attracted to the Earth and sticking to the outside of it. Yes, I can do that. I can show that. I can give you loads of experiments that show that mass attracts mass. Gas has mass, therefore it can be attracted to the Earth. G equals G1 M2 over R squared. My math is correct. You're a fucking moron. You don't understand physics. Apart from all the experiments that I keep saying.
And never demonstrated.
Never assumed. Experimentally verified.
It has to be assumed because it's never been demonstrated.
Apart from in all the experiments that you keep denying, you fucking dick.
That's the point of the experiment.
The experiments show that it can happen. No, an experiment is not something where... Right, no. Okay, you show me where an experiment has to be a scaled down thing of what you're trying to show. Show me where it fucking says that has to happen. No, you show me where that has to happen. Show me where it's cited in science that an experiment has to be a scaled down version of what you're trying to show. Please cite me exactly where that fucking says that in science.
Everywhere.
One. Point me to one place.
Science is based on that fact.
No. Don't just say it. Just say it. Fucking cite it and show me where.
Yeah, that's right. It's a study of natural phenomena. It's about proving.
Yeah, please show me where it says. Please show me.
It's verifying that what you're saying is really true because it is verifiable.
Harry, now please show me where it says
verifiable. It's being able to demonstrate that it's verifiable.
Please show me where it says I have to demonstrate something in a scaled down version to show that it is true. Please show me exactly where it fucking says that.
Everywhere in science. That's what it's
Point me to one place. Point me to one place.
It's based on. It's
Point me to one. Okay, I'm asking you. I'm asking you to cite it, Barry. Barry, I'm asking you to fucking cite it.
That's what it's about.
Brainy, why isn't he citing it to me?
I don't know.
I know, because all you want to do is to...
Barry, why can't you cite it to me? Why can't
you're
making something up now? You are making stuff up. You are saying that science says I have to show you a scaled down model.
You're trying to tell me that it's natural for Earth to hold gas against its
absolutely.
will. And gravity
does that.
They do what you want because you've invented
gravity does that.
Or you come up with someone who claims
gravity does that.
Gravity.
Gravity
which
does
isn't
that.
even a force.
Gravity does that.
You're claiming it works.
There's a force caused by gravity.
You can't show that.
I can. All the experiments. You're just denying all the experiments,
you can assume
Barry.
That, you say.
Barry,
right,
Barry, show me exactly where it says that an experiment has to be a scaled down version of what you're trying to demonstrate. I want the exact citation, please. Don't just say it's everywhere. I want you to tell me what. Because you're lying. You're making stuff up. You're making stuff up.
And just assume that it's
no, you're making stuff up.
Is that what you're claiming science is?
You're making stuff up. Science is about verifying predictions.
You're the one making stuff up. You're
Right,
the one
well,
claiming that gas
show
can
me
do
where
what it
I
doesn't
can't do
naturally
what I'm doing by
You're the
following
one
the
claiming
scientific
that you're on a
method.
ball. You're the
Show
one
me where I
claiming
can't
that
do
ball's
what...
moving.
Barry,
You're the one that's claiming that ball's
yeah,
moving
measurements.
around
They've all
its
shown that.
speed.
Barry,
You're the one making
measurements have all shown
ridiculous
that.
claims.
Measurements have all shown that, right? But
No,
you are
no,
you
they
are
haven't.
saying
You
yes,
just
they have.
assume them. That's all.
No, you don't assume
just
measurements.
assume them.
Barry, you are the one that has made a claim that science has to show you a scaled down version
I'm saying
of the thing that you're trying to show.
This is a natural phenomenon. Why
It is.
can't you
Gravity is a
why
natural
can't you
phenomenon.
prove that it's gravity doing it. You
I
keep
can,
saying it isn't
with the
assuming
Cavendish
it is,
experiment.
and you keep saying, "Oh, we've got tests that prove that gravity can do this." Well,
Yeah.
shit, let's see it do it then.
Yeah, sure, just
Stop
watch the
talking out your
Cavendish
backside
experiment.
and start showing us what you're actually saying.
But science doesn't say that I have to show you a scaled down version of what you want.
It would
That's
do
not
if
how
you're
science
claiming
works.
The Earth is
No,
gas
give
is
me the
doing something
citation,
it wouldn't
Barry. Give me the
naturally do.
citation or you're
You
fucking
at least
wrong.
need to show that that's possible. You need to
Barry,
show that
give
it's
me...
not going to be doing what
Yeah, the Cavendish
what
shows it
naturally
possible. Barry, you're just denying things.
Fucking rubbish, mate.
Give me the citation. Show me that you're
You need
right.
a
Otherwise, you're
citation.
lying.
You're claiming
You're lying.
that the
Barry,
planet-
you're lying.
that-
Barry,
that
you are
we're
lying.
living on
You
a
are
ball that's
lying.
spinning.
You are
What proof
lying.
are you coming up with?
You're lying. What don't you
Cartoon?
understand? You are lying.
Cartoons.
You are lying. Why are you lying?
You're the biggest liar here.
Look, but
You're
Barry,
the one that
no,
showed me
you've
the
said
inside.
something.
You're the one that showed me the inside of a
show
nuclear
you gas
reactor
doesn't need a
and
physical
claimed it
container.
was gas being held in
Yep,
by
gas
magnetism.
doesn't need a
and
physical
claiming
container.
that was your excuse for gravity.
No, it was a
You
demonstration
lied.
of emergent forces.
When you lied about that,
I didn't lie.
You lost the
I
whole
never
debate.
said it was. I never said it was
You had
gravity.
to lie. But
I
you had
never
to
said
lie.
it was gravity. You're lying
Because
again.
you can't come with the truth.
You're lying
You can
again,
never come with
Barry.
the truth. You're a baller.
Barry,
What baller
you're
can
lying
possibly come with the
again.
truth?
Barry, why you keep
Why-
lying?
Okay, so why would it? Why would we lie? Like that's what's
Barry,
the game.
why are you lying?
We can
You're
argue with you
talking
about
out
other
your
things
arse,
about
mate.
why.
Barry, why are you lying to me?
About what?
Why would
Everything
we
you
lie?
just
That's
said.
what I want to know.
What? That you need to prove what you're talking about.
But in the specific way that you're saying, you say I
You're
have to
saying
do
gas
that.
doesn't need a container. I'm saying yes, it does. You'd have to have a container.
Ga-
How is that a lie?
Gravity is a container.
You're disagreeing, then saying
Gravity
the
is
gas
a
wouldn't
container.
do what it naturally does.
Gravity is a
You're
container.
the one that's a liar. You
Gravity
can't
is a
even prove
container.
that, and you kill it.
Yeah, I
you're
can.
in there
How's that
telling me
a
I'm the
liar?
liar.
No, I
You
can't.
can't
I,
prove
Are
the
we
gas
lying?
can do the opposite of what
Wait,
gas
wait.
would naturally do.
Hold on.
Using
To start with,
using gravity.
Science, to start with, science doesn't prove
you
things.
can't.
That's not what science
It's not
does.
physically possible. It doesn't matter what you
Apart
keep
from all the
saying.
experiments
You
that
can't
say
show
that it
that's
is.
true.
Right,
Not
should
in
we do,
real
should we-
life.
guys,
You can
over
do
the
it
next
in somebody's head,
one sec,
like
Barry.
your
Right.
stupid head, but you
One
can't
sec,
do it
Barry.
for real.
Barry, hold on. One sec. Guys, in the chat, I want you to, for the next 2 minutes to time the nut-us that he gives me. Barry, we have demonstrated that mass can attract mass experimentally.
Which mass are you talking about?
Any mass.
Also, like two bricks.
Mass can attract mass. We have demonstrated
So
this
two bricks will
experimentally.
attract to each other.
They absolutely will, yes.
Of course they do.
They won't.
They absolutely do. We've demonstrated experimentally that there is an attraction between all masses.
Right. So two bricks attract each other.
Yeah. There's a lot of other forces you have to take into account.
Demonstratable is that. That's
Uh-huh.
repeatable and demonstratable, yeah?
Yeah, using the Cavendish experiment, it absolutely is.
Oh, right. So you're going to use a theoretic experiment.
He doesn't even know what that is.
The
He
Cavendish
doesn't
isn't
inside
in
your
it.
head, not in
The
The
real
Cavendish isn't theoretical, it's a physical experiment that's done.
doesn't know what that is. See what I mean? He doesn't even know. As soon as he said that, the last time he outed himself, he didn't even know
Right,
what
so how many
what
people,
gas
how many people,
to
how
use.
many
He didn't even know
people
what
do you
the fuck
think
we were
don't know what
talking
a
about.
vacuum is? And how many people you think don't know what gas is?
You don't even know what we were talking about with the Cavendish. Stop pretending you do.
Well, in what way does Cavendish prove gas then? What if gas can be reversed?
How have we moved to
Gas can
gas?
be
You were just
reversed.
fucking asking us about
how
matter
are you
attracting
claiming that it's
matter.
clinging
Now
to
you're
a
asking
ball?
about gas.
I'm
You're
claiming that
clinging
gas
to a
has
ball when
mass,
naturally
and we have
that would be
demonstrated.
lower
You must watch
temperature,
Russian
wouldn't it?
vids.
Especially if this is no.
I am claiming that gas is mass, has mass, and we have demonstrated experimentally that mass attracts mass. Simple.
Not gas.
Gas
You
has
haven't
mass.
demonstrated it.
Gas
You've not
has mass.
demonstrated that gravity.
Gas has
Gas
mass.
has
You
mass.
can keep
Yeah.
thinking it doesn't, but we
You
can
have
test
not
that
demonstrated
too.
that gravity attracts gas.
Oh yeah, actually I can, because any container.
No, you
even-
can't.
Hold on.
Show me the same
Hold on.
photograph,
Hold on.
which doesn't
Hold on.
display-
Hold
doesn't
on,
show you
Barry.
nothing.
I
So
can
if I
actually
pull a
absolutely
vacuum on a
show. Yeah.
container,
But Brainy, answer me a question. If I have a container of gas, like an oxygen container, and it's standing upright, will there be more molecules of oxygen at the bottom of that tank or the top?
It's going to be denser at the bottom. It's very minute, but
Yep.
you can definitely test that. You can test
Yep,
it in
right.
anybody
So-
can do it. It's
So
testable.
there's more at the bottom because the gas has been attracted to the Earth.
You can literally put a micron gauge in there and count how many moles there are on the bottom of the tank and how many there are on the top of the tank, and that's molecules.
Guys, how
basically.
many nutters did we get there? I counted 6,
So
I think.
let me ask you something. If you hadn't encased it, would any of that taken place?
Well, yeah,
Yes.
because it's taking place right now. If you go to the top of Mount Everest, there's less pressure. I mean, we
because
keep
it's
telling you
encased.
you're in the
Thank
fucking
you.
container, but you don't
Thank
listen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Because
What?
we're
I
in
just told you fucking.
Exactly.
Oh my
Exactly.
god, this is just delusional thinking.
Because we are
What
encased.
were you thanking me for? Telling you you're an idiot?
Barry,
You
there
are the idiot.
Barry, there
You
is a
just stated
container.
it can only happen in the closed
Barry,
system.
when you go mountain
just said
climbing,
it
there's the
yourself
lower
9
pressure
times
up
tonight.
higher. What the fuck do you think that is? Like, come on.
What do you think? How do you think you're getting gas pressure here now to breathe?
Because of gravity.
You
Wait,
think that-
because it
Gravity,
pushes it fucking
You
down on
fucking
you.
retard!
Oh my
Gravity!
God.
Have you ever
Intelligent,
heard of
intelligent.
fucking gravity?
Turn it up, mate.
Gravity!
How does a submarine get more
Gravity's not a
water
force.
pressure
It
on
can't
it?
affect gas. It's not a force.
How does? Hey, wait! When a
Gravity is
submarine
not a
dives
force.
underwater,
There's an
what's happening when the
acceleration
pressure
of mass,
goes up?
therefore there's a force.
So let me see
Wait,
what-
why
right,
does a
what was
submarine
the
have more
excuse to say
pressure
that
as it
gravity
goes
is not a
deeper and
force?
deeper,
Was it the
Barry?
upward
Barry,
movement they were
Barry.
saying?
Barry,
Wait, what-
answer why does a submarine
You're
have more
claiming that
pressure
there's
around
an
it?
upward movement.
Barry, there's a question for you here. Wait, one second.
Barry,
Go ahead,
why
Barney.
does a submarine have more pressure around as it goes deeper? What's causing that?
Water pressure.
Okay, but what's causing the pressure? Why is there more water pressure as you go deeper and deeper and deeper in the water? What is causing that pressure? What would
Because
be
the
doing
water
that?
at the
to you?
top is resting on the water underneath.
Why is it resting on your shoulders if it isn't coming fucking down on them, you idiot?
What do you mean? How is
If it isn't accelerating down onto your shoulders, then how the fuck is it pushing on them and creating pressure? And why is the pressure going up as you put more and more of it on top? It's almost like the column
How is it
above
gonna
you
create pressure
is
if it's
gets
not been kept here?
the water. It's oh my god. The only
How is it
difference
gonna
between
create
air
pressure if
and
it's not
water is you can't compress a liquid. Other than that, they both behave as a fluid. Like they move as a fluid and everything.
Gas
That's the
behaves as
only
a gas,
difference
and
is
a liquid
compressibility.
behaves-
Hey, Brainy, I need to go and take a Riley, so I'm just going to leave you with
Oh,
the...
you're just gonna abandon me with them.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Please enjoy the lowest IQ we've ever had on the show. I'll be back in 2
Mortal
minutes.
Kombat music, fight.
Dun, dun, dun,
Lowest
dun,
IQ.
dun,
No,
dun.
but like, so like, okay, you go, Riley. But all I was gonna say, Barry, is that like, okay, so the thing is, you're acknowledging that when you go deeper, there's more weight on your shoulders of the water pressure sitting on your shoulders. But what's causing that water pressure? Why wouldn't it matter if so if it's just the water around you, and you went down 1 foot, you should just get all that pressure because there's all this water around you. But why, as you put more water on top of you? Okay, but hold on, Barry. Why does the water to the right and the left of you not matter? Why is it only the
It
water
does
that's
matter.
directly above you that matters? Sorry?
It does matter. I didn't say it didn't matter.
Why does no?
You're
It
just
doesn't.
talking
That
about how
water
much
does
pressure.
not. Nope. When you no. When you're calculating the water pressure, that water technically doesn't count. Doesn't matter because the water pressure is going to be a calculation of how much water is on top of you, not around you. It's kind of because that's where the pressure is coming from. It's for instance, a vessel floats because it displaces more water than its weight. So it's the same kind of principle. Like the boat, it's hard to explain that, but essentially speaking,
we're back to the buoyancy thing, ain't we? Yeah.
Well, of course we are, but that's also a good question. So if you want to go on that route, why does a boat sit down in the water? If it's more buoyant than the water it sits on, then why doesn't it just flop onto the top, hull come out of the water and just goes plump and pops onto its side? Because by rights,
It was
it
made
shouldn't
to do
sit
with
in the
it.
water at all.
The
But meanwhile,
boats
when
are
you take a
man-made
heavy
objects,
object
they
and you
were built to
plant
do
it in
that.
the water, well, you get this obvious press down where it pulls into the water. Now, why would it do that? Based on the fact that it's more buoyant, it should just float. It's almost like there's something that wants to like pull it into the water, but doesn't because there's an opposite force called buoyancy. And the other thing is how buoyancy calculation has gravity in the math. How do you think they design a submarine? Do you think they just throw baby shit at a wall and see if it sticks?
Wait, as an ex-submariner, I can confirm that baby ship was the main design principle behind submarines.
I imagine if a baby shits hard enough, it could probably paint a Picasso. But bottom line is, Barry, it makes no sense. They don't just guess. They don't just put it together and go, meanwhile they're lowering it in the water and the one guy's sitting back and going, fuck, did you, that's a lot of weight on the ass end. Did you figure that? Oh no, it's pretty heavy, but we think it's going to float. They just fucking let go of it and it just fucked straight down. Maybe we should have loaded the people into it before we put it in the water. That would have been a good fucking, maybe, next time we'll think of that. Like, they just don't fucking throw it in the wind when they're making something worth $100 million. No, they math this shit out. And if we didn't know what we were doing, Barry, none of this shit would work. You can think it would, but all these people don't just bumble their way through work. They know what they're doing.
Are you saying that people haven't circumnavigated the world until Europeans came along? Is that what you're saying? They couldn't use a boat.
This is gonna wait. I have to stop. No. Before we go further, I have to figure out how many minutes in this is because I need to 144, an hour and 44. I got to write that down because apparently you're speaking Portuguese while the rest of us are speaking
people that thought it was
English.
flat managed to get around as well. Funny that, isn't it?
Yeah, using globe.
Yeah, using sextants, something that doesn't fucking work on a flat Earth, you idiot.
They didn't need to.
Oh, no, hold on. We got to write this down because that was like you translated English to Portuguese.
Barry, do me a favor. Explain to the audience how a sextant works.
Use it.
By rights, I don't even fucking really know, but I mean, I know they need a globe.
They gauge the distance.
No, try again. Nothing to do with gauging distances. Do you want to take another stab at that?
Here's a question. Why are we asking about a sextant when we was talking about the gas?
Why were we talking about European fucking goddamn fucking?
Why is it
Wait, hold on. You don't get to fucking walk in here 10 seconds later after you threw the fucking biggest fucking curveball. No, dude. We went from submarines to nobody. That you mean nobody's?
You wouldn't even be asking these questions. Nobody.
No. You don't get to get away with this kind of fucking right-hand turn. You went. No, dude. Fucking 3 minutes ago, we went from submarines to European fucking global settlers, and then you just accused us of changing the subject.
You need to change subject. You need to go into something else.
You've been changing subjects every fucking 2 minutes.
That is fucking amazing.
To the outside of a ball.
You don't understand. This is going to be a follow-up clown-ass video like you couldn't believe. You're so funny.
We were discussing the atmosphere and how it came to be. That's what we were discussing.
Yeah, and which is why I started describing fluid dynamics, which is what we were talking about. And you went to fucking European settlers.
We're already enclosed.
You went to European settlers
here at all.
Well, will you explain to me how fluid dynamics and European settlers match, and we'll go forward.
You're trying to tell me that the barrier is gravity.
He doesn't want to acknowledge that he fucking took a right-hand turn and then hit a roundabout, went 3 circles in a fucking row, went back where he came from. Come on, man. You think we're supposed to take you seriously? Come on. Oh, fuck.
Barry.
You're never going to see this.
Just keep fucking talking. Craig, you're up. I'm out for a minute. I got my window.
Hey, Gary, do me a favor. Wow. You know the Cavendish experiment I've been talking about?
Correct.
Could you tell us what that is?
It was an experiment to see if there was ether. They were claiming that we were moving. Okay. What was it about?
Oh, my brainy. Did you hear that? He said the Cavendish experiment was for ether. Oh, fuck me.
Yeah, see, I told you. No. I told you. He outed himself when the first thing he said is, what gas did you use? I'm like, are we fucking on the right? But he can't admit, dude, what you do is you go, I'm sorry, I'm unfamiliar with the Cavendish experiment. Explain to me what it was. And then you come back after you do some fucking research. It's like when you go into the store and you say to the kid, you're like, hey, does this do this? And he goes, yeah. And then you're like, you look at him, you're like, you don't fucking have a clue, do you?
So
he keeps talking.
So Lord Henry Cavendish, an eccentric fellow, actually. Cavendish was a very interesting guy. He was pretty crazy, right? Interesting story about Cavendish was he fucking hated people. Like, he didn't want to be anywhere near them all the time. So much so, I know, so much so that in his mansion, he actually had a second staircase built so he wouldn't have to walk on the same staircase as the staff in his house. He was fucking mental. But Lord Henry Cavendish had a hypothesis that he could weigh the world. And the way that he would do this was by testing a gravitational acceleration. And the way that he'd do that was
How accurate
by
do they actually think that is, though?
pretty damn accurate. So the way that he did it was he wanted to test if mass attracted mass, which he could use to calculate the weight of the world. And what he did was he hung a bar. So imagine this was being hung by a very thin string straight down, right? Perfectly balanced, all right? So just one thin string holding this bar like that. On the end of each side of the bar is a weight, all right? Now, what they did was they had another weight that was here. What they would do was move this weight closer to the weight that was on the end of here to see if there was an attraction between the weight at the end and the weight that was moved closer. And what they found was that as the weight moved closer, you could actually see that the whole thing twisted because the weight on the end of here was attracted to the weight that was moved closer. The closer the weight gets, the stronger the gravitational acceleration. And this has been repeated many, many, many times to show that there's a gravitational acceleration. Recently, by Blue Marble Science, he's built his own, I think he's in the chat now, actually. He's built his own Cavendish experiment. BM Furball did his own Cavendish experiment. And it's also done by first-year physics students every fucking year at university. I did it myself in my physics degree. It's an experiment quite easily showing that mass attracts mass.
At what point did you display that gas could be attracted to the Earth?
Well, we displayed that mass attracts mass, and based on the constants and equations that we understand, it basically verified FG equals gm1m2 over r squared.
When gas is enclosed, it will start to develop gradient.
Yeah, but there's only one reason it would develop a gradient, because there's something pulling it down.
That's the only way. That's the only way it can happen.
No. Being enclosed does not cause a gradient.
You're not explaining things.
Well, like I said, could you do that without any enclosure? Could that experiment be run without?
But that's the
Up a mountain again.
But that's the thing. You keep saying it isn't enclosed
because we're already in a container.
Barry, you keep saying it's not enclosed. There's no container, but there is. It's called gravity.
It's not.
I've just demonstrated that with the Cavendish experiment.
No, it's not gravity. It's definitely not gravity.
Apart from the fact that the Cavendish experiment demonstrates that mass attracts mass.
Physics would have said so.
Physics does say so.
Solid.
No, physics does not describe anything solid. Physics does not describe anything solid. Yeah, it does. It requires energy to. It requires energy to escape. It requires energy to escape.
So solid mass can pass. So you're saying
if you can go. No, I'm not saying that physics is wrong. Physics doesn't say that you couldn't. Physics say that there is an acceleration to overcome, which requires energy. No, it doesn't.
It stipulates that.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Brian 0434. One sec.
Light and temperature.
Dude, one sec. I need to address someone.
Temperature. That's your entropy.
Hold on.
No solid mass may pass the boundary.
Dude, sorry, Barry. 1 sec. I need to address someone in the chat that's spamming. Explain density. Well, density is mass over volume. What do you want? Density isn't an explanation for anything. But what did you just say, Barry? Sorry.
I forgot.
You said that gas isn't mass?
I asked you if you could show gas being held down.
I'm coming back with Cameron in a second.
I've just shown you that mass attracts mass.
Gas held down by gravity.
Yeah, mass attracts mass.
Gas held down by gravity.
I just told you, mass attracts mass.
Fair enough. You say that mass attracts mass. So
no, experiments in science says that mass attracts mass. Yeah. Gas has mass, therefore gravity affects gas.
Yes,
simple
so
as
therefore that. There should be an experiment somewhere showing this.
Yeah, there absolutely is. It's called the Cavendish experiment, the Schehelian experiment, the Pound-Repka experiment, the Edmonton experiment in 1919, and the discovery of Neptune.
To a mass.
Yeah, it does. It shows that mass attracts mass,
No,
Barry.
you're
You can
talking
keep saying
about-
it doesn't,
you're
but it
talking about two
does.
solid objects here.
Yeah, but gas has
And the
mass.
chances are they're like
Anything
calculated.
has mass. It is
Yes,
affected
you
by
keep saying
gravity.
that. You keep saying that.
Yeah.
And assuming that you're right in saying that, you then should have the ability to show what I was asking you for.
Yeah, I'm showing you that mass attracts mass.
No, you're not showing me gas being
But
attracted to a ball
the prediction,
inside a vacuum.
the prediction,
Can't happen.
hold on. The prediction of gravity is that on a small scale, you would not be able to do that because the gravitational acceleration would not be enough. We would need to be away from Earth's gravity 100% to be able to do that. Because otherwise, Earth's gravity is going to affect whatever experiment you do. You understand that, right?
Totally did this one with him
I
last
do understand.
time.
He
I'm
did,
sure.
yeah, B, we
Yeah.
did explain to me the last time, remember?
So you cannot
Yeah,
do
we did.
something that is physically impossible, which is why we
And
make
that makes sense if
predictions
you
and
think
test
about
those
it, because if you're
predictions in
too
other
close-
ways.
I'll tell you what makes sense.
You know,
is that
Yeah, if you're too close to the
If it
vacuum
used to-
cleaner, you can't test if it's not windy or not. You know,
regardless
the
of-
vacuum cleaner over there is going to
regardless
do
of-
it.
The size does matter. The size does matter. And the size
it does
and the
matter.
nature of the container does
Of course
matter,
it does, if the
right?
prediction says
Of course
so.
it does. But the point I'm
I
making
have read a
here-
lot of cosmopolitans, and they definitely said size matters in a few cases.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were we talking
the
about
point
again?
I'm making here is, right, that physics is claiming that it's a closed system and
Uh-huh.
no solid mass passes the
Virtually no
boundary.
solid mass.
Okay? Now, how does gravity meet that criteria?
Because gravity is a force that can be overcome with a force in the opposite direction.
but-
You know, rockets
then
have
it
a
allows solid
massive
mass
fucking
through.
rocket on them, right?
Yes, but you can pass solid mass through. So it's no longer a sealed system, is it? No.
No one said it's sealed.
Well, it's a closed system. You've opened
Yeah,
it.
and in a
Because you
closed
through the boundary,
system allows virtually no mass to pass through. Okay, however,
Yeah.
if you look at the amount of say comets and stuff that that land on Earth, and then compare that to the amount of mass from rockets or whatever leaving Earth, they're pretty much equal. So overall, there still hasn't been a transfer of mass overall.
Well,
So it's still
to be
classed as a
fair,
closed
right, rockets
system.
don't actually go into space, do they?
I mean, you can say that. You're wrong. You're an
Yeah.
idiot. But, you know.
No, they don't actually go into space, do they?
Well, you're
They just
wrong.
launch
You're an idiot.
themselves. They
You
don't.
stupid.
No, they don't. You go watch
You
another launch.
stupid.
You'll see what I mean.
Yeah, no, I've watched plenty of launches. I've had one
Yeah,
live on
and
my
they
channel.
Take a parabola. They don't actually go into space.
Yeah, of course they do. You know, oh my God, do I have to
No,
really
no,
show this
there's
to you?
mice stuck
It
in the
wouldn't work. It
mechanics
wouldn't
and
work.
stuff.
What are they pushing? What are they be pushing against? There's no.
Rockets don't need anything to push
create
against
thrust.
Newton's first law.
How are they going to create thrust? Once they've left,
The thrust is created inside the rocket.
yes, the thrust is. But what's
Well,
the
it's
thrust then
action
again?
reaction bullshit, but they'll
nothing
never
for
get
it.
that.
Once they get
Okay.
to a certain height, they're useless.
Do you know what a
That's
gravity
the
turn
parabola
is?
They all go up and then go out to sea.
They don't go out to sea.
It's not that
that's
hard to
done.
make a. The only thing I don't have is some sort of sensor for pressure other than like a scale, which I guess you could take a digital scale, like a really
You know,
fine
you
digital
watch
scale, and
you
put it on its
truly
side. But
watch a
that's
launch, right? You'll find that what
Yeah,
it does is
uh-huh.
it goes up and then go. Yeah, it
It's-
doesn't actually go.
it's-
doesn't
yeah.
It does
actually go
this
into-
to go into
that's
orbit.
called orbiting. That's called orbiting, and it's very well understood, Barry. Just
No,
because
there's a
you
unit
don't
that comes off
doesn't
that
mean.
goes into orbit. The rocket itself comes off. They use thrusters.
Well, of course it does. It's called a booster. It's the first stage.
Yeah.
That's why it's called a
That's
two-stage
correct, that's
rocket,
correct.
Barry.
Do you know what rockets
Yeah,
are?
okay. Well, wait, but they never claimed the first stage went to
The rocket
fucking
is a
space.
fuel
It goes.
device. This thing's not using fuel device, is it? It's just using air
Oh
pressure.
my lord.
Air
It's just all
pressure?
conspiracies
What?
on
Yeah, this is a fuel
conspiracies. Like
thing.
Did you just say rockets just use
Barry,
air
I'm going to tell you
pressure?
right now, Barry.
You'll never
Anybody who
actually
ever
see
says
it into
that,
space,
Barry,
you'll always think that
anybody who
rockets
ever
use
says bullshit like airplanes run on air pressure and stuff has
Everything
never
else
dealt
goes
with a tank
feeble.
of air. Barry, if you don't have liquid in a tank, it'll run out in like so quick
I
your heart
understand that. I mean,
stops.
I'm sure they do as well. I'm
Barry, my God, you just can't.
Right.
You just don't understand the mathematics involved in the amount of energy we're
Look,
talking.
I
They
know
couldn't
that
you
even
could have finished
pretend
that.
to
He
do
doesn't
that.
understand.
I'm not denying that. You're going to need a lot if you're going to make a lie up like this. Of course you are.
There's no lies, Barry. You're the one that's been telling
Well,
lies
they
the
They
whole
just,
time.
but,
to
but
space.
Barry,
It's not
anybody
weird.
can do the math.
They're
You
going
don't.
up
You just
very
need to
high,
sit down
I
and figure out
agree,
the
but they're
numbers
not going into
first.
space.
Right, Barry, look at this, okay? What I'm showing you on screen. Now, if you were standing at the point where it's taking off, right,
Right.
looking at the direction that it's going, what would that look like to you? It would look like a parabola, right?
You know, look, it's going to be going away
It's a
from you,
problem.
down even.
But that's how they get into orbit. Rockets don't go straight up into space because they need to have a tangential velocity to orbit the Earth.
If they go straight up, they come straight back down again.
Yeah. An orbit is a very specific thing. An orbit is actually something in free fall towards the Earth. Like the ISS, which goes around the Earth once every 90 minutes or something, it's actually falling towards the Earth constantly. It's in free fall towards the Earth at all points. But it's got a fast enough tangential velocity of about 17,000 miles per hour that it misses the Earth and keeps going round.
Hey, Barry, I got a better dynamic for you. Imagine you're going over to a girl's house. She's invited you over. It's booty call time, but the road is really icy, and you just keep slipping past her place, and you're like on a big roundabout where you just keep sliding past, and you're turning and turning constantly, and you never end up at her place because no matter, you're just going so fast that you're sliding. I'm just joking, but no, but that's essentially what's happening is you're falling towards the Earth, but you're moving so fast that essentially the Earth, because it's a sphere, is dropping away because it drops away from you, and as it drops away, you just keep falling, and so it orbits this beautiful thing where you're going fast enough to not fall to the Earth, but also slow enough that you don't fly away from it. Because if you go much faster, all of a sudden, at some point, the Earth can't hold you anymore, and you just poof and you fire off. Just like a yo-yo going around.
You know what lets all that down, right? Is not just the fact that you can see the harnesses that these people are supposed to.
No, you can't ever see a harness.
All
it's not just that.
What about that blue and white blue screen that nobody would ever use?
He's just made a claim. He's just made a claim. Barry, wait. You've just made a big claim there. I challenge you to show me one single harness connected to a wire. Just one. Show me one.
Maybe that one where the guy floats by in the background, and it because of the way his belt's sitting, it looks like he's on a wire.
In the background. There's probably more.
So you've got one video where a guy looked like he was. I can show you a bunch of pictures of girls that take pictures of legs, and they do hot dogs or legs, Barry, and they try to see if you can guess if they're hot dogs or legs in the photo.
Collecting it when I saw it, put it in, and say, "Oh, I'll show that to Flex."
Barry, every other flat earther on the globe has done that.
You know what I'm saying?
So you saw a guy with like a belt that's attached to them floating around.
Special effects, and they're using green screen.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, hold on. I watched a 90-minute live stream, one single cut from the ISS where they were doing
pre-recorded. Come on, pre-recorded.
Yeah. Sorry. It wasn't live. Sorry. It was a 90-minute single shot pre-recorded of them going around the ISS.
Hollywood basement.
Now, do you know what harness trauma is, Barry?
Well, how long are they in them for?
Well, let's just say he would have had to be in it for at least 90 minutes.
Let's put it this way, Barry. You can't hang in a harness. If you fall off the side of a building, you'll actually die. In a lot of people, you'll actually die from blood clots in 90 minutes. You have no idea.
Cinematographer stuff. They're using
film. Hold on.
Matter.
Barry, we're talking about one specific thing here, right? Barry, stop. 1 sec. Listen. Right.
Barry, you can't have it hidden and be big enough to protect his entire body.
So, Barry, listen.
He knows nothing about it.
Barry, listen. 90 minutes. 90 minutes, one shot, uncut, right? That would have meant they would have had to have been in a harness for 90 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Right, okay, so there's something called suspension trauma, which happens...
Are you talking about inside
big thing
or outside?
on construction sites. If a guy falls off the side of a building, you have to get him down effing now. He can't hang there long.
Inside the ISS, a 90-minute tour
no problem.
of them going through all the hatches and everything, right? Which means that they would have had to have been suspended for 90 minutes at least in a harness, okay? Suspension trauma is a real thing that happens. If someone is stranded in a harness and has something to kick and doesn't have anything to kick or stand about, within 20 minutes... they will have onset of symptoms. Typical symptoms are pallor, sweating, shortness of breath, blurred vision, dizziness, nausea, hypertension, and numbness of the legs. It will eventually lead to fainting within 45 minutes, which may result in death due to oxygen deprivation of the brain. You literally cannot sit in a harness for more than 20 minutes.
Well, and they even make specialized harnesses for in case if you're always working at height. So, Barry, I'll finish this one sentence and you can jump in, buddy. They make specialized harnesses for people who are always working at height and are in more danger of falling and being hanging on their harness. And what the harnesses have is they have this special...
I used to use them. I know.
Okay, but hold on. Just let me finish my sentence for the people that don't know then, Barry. So they have these special little hooks that you can actually pull out of them. Now they're very expensive harnesses. Most companies don't pay for those, but you pull them out and you can pull them down. And there's like these little things you hook your heels on, and it gives you something to like. Basically, you're able to stretch out, and it allows you to remove the weight off of around your legs, so that you're not getting that blood clotting that is causing the problems that FTFE just listed. And then you can hang there like that.
Have you seen the ones that use?
Well, you can hang there for an hour at that point, but you're not sitting on your harness. You're sitting on your legs, but you'd also see all that because it's not a natural stance.
I can guarantee in movies they don't have actors sitting there for more than 20, 30 minutes at the most in a harness because they don't want to kill the people that are fucking starring in their movies.
Probably. Yeah. The guy probably comes down immediately if they're not doing the film.
An hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah, but that's cut, Barry. That's not sitting in a harness for an hour and a half.
So they could.
Barry, they do them in 5 seconds. Barry, do you think when I film when I filmed my 18 minutes of Beaver Rock the other day, do you think that I did that the day before in one solid swoop, or do you think Barry, do you think that I took Barry? Some of those scenes are I have a 5-second scene in there that I added in there. Like these things were filmed on different days and different light settings with different I've got kids. Like I film one scene, I fuck off. I come back, I film another. I have to write a script. I mean, it's no different than anything. They don't just film a movie all at once.
And
come on,
I know they don't. That's what I was saying.
And the fact that there's all these live streams, which a lot of them go on for way longer than 20 minutes and stuff. That would mean they'd have to be doing all of this live, right? Wait, they'd have to be doing all of this live, right?
Let me ask Barry why. Let's get Barry to tell us why. And this is a decent enough topic. Why? I'd love to know why the lies. Just like your words. I know I've heard other flatters.
All right, then I'll tell you what I think why. Because this is actually a religious war.
Oh my God.
Do you think, Barry, I got a question for you. Do you think that non-religious people think about God day to day? Serious question. I mean, I'm being serious. I'm having an honest talk.
Isn't that what the
No.
purpose?
Nothing to do
No,
with
not at
God.
all. In fact, Barry. Well, Barry, just to be blunt with you, Barry, just to be blunt with you,
be honest,
day in and day out.
I'm not saying everything in the Bible is true because I've never read the whole Bible.
Bollocks,
I never have.
true.
Barry, what I'm trying to tell you, Barry, is that people that are not religious
isn't a ball.
But Barry, you're not answering the question. You said, isn't that what it's all about? And what I'm trying to say to you is the reality is people that are not religious, Barry, don't wake up in the morning. I'm going to tell you right now, I can go weeks without thinking about God because he doesn't matter to me. He's not part of my decision process. But Barry, Barry, let me say this so that you understand in the future that, but Barry, you think that, this is what I mean. Like, why you think that these people are doing this to do a religious war? I'm going to tell you right now, Jeff Bezos, if he's religious or not, let me fucking talk for a second. If Jeff Bezos, whether he's religious or not, do you think that even matters to him? First of all, I bet he isn't. And second of all, do you think that when he wakes up in the morning, he thinks about how much money he wants to invest into battling Christianity or the revealing of the Lord? No, he wakes up in the morning, he wipes his ass with diamond fucking plated dollar bills, and he moves. Yeah, but you're not understanding. We all are like that. What bit? When I get up there in the morning, I don't give a fuck about religious people. They can do their thing.
You do. I'm saying that.
No, but you're not understanding. I'm a human being, though. All these other people are human beings. There needs to be a reason. Okay, right now, Barry, do you just invest your own personal?
For me,
Barry, no. Let me ask. I'm asking you a question, Barry. I would like you to answer this. Do you invest your own personal money and time and efforts into things you don't think about on a daily basis? Is that something you do? Just tell me honestly.
Yes.
Things you don't think about, things that don't come to your mind, you invest money in that never come to your mind. So do you invest money in the saving of Brazilian hump-nosed turtles? Because
honest,
I mean,
no, it's I help the aged.
You what?
I donate. Help the aged.
Okay, but donating, what I'm saying though is, but you think about things like donating and stuff like that. What I'm saying is in the morning, when a non-religious person wakes up, there is no point in their day where they're making their coffee and they sit there and they stir it and they think, today I'm going to try to disrupt. No, let me finish my sentence. They don't sit there and think, today I'm going to try to do everything I can to disrupt Christianity. It's just not something we fucking care about. There's no money in that. There's no money. I got better things to do than fuck with Christians.
There's loads of money in it.
It's not.
Who do you think the richest people are? Who do you think they are? now.
The
right
owner
now.
of Amazon
You
and
mentioned
Tesla.
Steve
Yeah, they're
Bannon.
the people. You know what they are? They're the people that didn't give a fuck about others, and they stepped over people to get there.
Yeah.
That's not a
Yeah.
shock. They happen to be not religious.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you this, Barry. Some of the worst fucking atrocities.
This
No,
whole
listen.
thing is
Listen
about
here,
religion.
you
It's
son of a
about
bitch. Some of the
disproving religion.
worst atrocities
That's what it's
I've
really
ever
all
seen
about.
in my life are from religious people, and I have heard the worst
And in
fucking
order
things
to
come
keep
from
them
religious
doing it, they
people.
need to be like
I have
you,
never
that-
heard a
to be not
non-religious
caring.
person say something like, I know there's people dying and hurting in other countries, but you got to take care of your own first. I've never fucking heard a non-religious person say that, but I've heard religious people say that.
Yeah.
And they use the guise of Christianity to
The
fucking
people that we're
throw it
talking
in
about
the-
that are lying to us are not religious, or should I say they're
I just think it's a
anti-religion.
joke if
Well,
you
that's
think
the
that
no
we
true
wake up in the
Scotsman
morning
fallacy
and
right
give a
there.
fuck about it.
So,
Anyways, I'm off my
This is a-
soapbox.
this is a
I'm off
religious
my
Barry,
soapbox.
yeah,
You're just
Barry,
not intelligent
let me
enough
let
to
me ask you a
realise
question
that
about
you're
God. Let me ask you a question about God, right? Why couldn't God have made a globe?
Why would he have? What would be
No,
the
what? No,
sense?
what? No,
Why not?
why couldn't he have?
I'm not saying he couldn't. I don't know whether he could or not. I
So
don't
why
know
is
who God- I don't
why
know who
is
God
flat
is.
Earth anything to do with
I
God?
honestly don't know who God is because I've never met God or anything like that. What
That's
I'm
'cause
trying to
he's
say
not
to
real,
you is,
but-
whatever created this environment we're in now,
The universe
must-
did.
God must be well advanced to have done it in the time that it's done it, how long ago it was created. Because to me, I don't think it's actually
Yeah, it's all natural
to have
processes.
a barrier. I don't think it's natural to have a barrier over, even if it was
Gravity is a
flat.
very natural thing.
It wouldn't be unless the reason it has a barrier is so that we can have an environment.
But gravity is a very natural thing, right? Barry, I want to go back
It's
to
not even a force.
the NASA and stuff in space, and you saying it's all faked, right? So are you saying when they do the live streams, they're in real time removing the harnesses and stuff?
What inside? Are you talking about what happens inside when they do the live stream of it outside, where they show you the
No,
camera?
no. Let's say we're
When the
watching
people
the
are
live
talking
stream
to
of
you.
it, a live stream of it inside the ISS, where they're moving around inside the ISS. I've watched some that are
Oh,
30,
yeah,
40
yeah.
minutes long, right? Are they removing the harnesses in real time?
I should imagine it would be,
Right, I want to show you something.
especially
Okay,
if what you're saying is true
now-
about being in there for so long.
okay, so
would
I use
imagine,
pretty high-end technology. I use industry standard, special effects stuff,
Yeah, well, that's it.
Adobe, right? Okay, I pay quite a lot of money for it, and I spent a lot of time learning how to use it, right? And I want to quickly show you.
We ain't learned much, are you? That's what you've done.
One sec. Where's the desktop capture here? I want to show you what it took me to create one of the special effects that I did recently. All right.
Oh Lord, it takes so long. Fuck.
So
It took me 2 hours to make my Beaver and Steve fucking scene. It's only like a minute
So-
long.
For 4 seconds, right? This is what I had to do. Okay. I'll talk through kind of what I'm doing as it goes.
Yeah,
I'll
4
speed it
hours is
up.
probably more than I've spent on that. I'm thinking.
So I wanted to make an effect where I vanished like Thanos snapped me away. So first thing I had to do was remove myself from the background so that I had just me to work with. Right, and this
This
is
is
sped up
basically what
about
Hollywood used.
this is sped up about 400 times at this point, right? So I'm removing myself from the background so that I've got something to work with, okay? So you can see I've got the separate layers there. All right, and I've got to double the layer, and then I've got to add an effect onto the layer that I've just created to make it look like, I'm turning to dust. I've got to make sure it's the right color. I've got to change it all. Then I've got to add a linear wipe to it so that I can, see where the snap is happening. It goes from one point to the other. I've got to feather that linear wipe, make sure that it looks at a good speed like the snap that Thanos did. All right, and I've got to add all that together and pre-compose it, put it together as one layer. And then I've got to add a shatter effect to it to make it look like I'm breaking into lots of pieces. I've got to adjust all of that to make it look like the pieces that are shattering are they're two-dimensional, that they're floating up. I've got to adjust the physics and the gravity. So I spend quite a lot of time mucking about with it, making sure that it follows the linear wipe to go. And bear in mind, again, this is sped up probably about 1,000 times at this point while I'm showing you what I'm
Imagine
doing.
a shadow would screw up a green screen in about 10
Yeah.
seconds. Like one shadow would mess the whole thing up.
Exactly. Then I've got to create a second layer
how
to
many
do
lights I have on this green
the thinner dust, and then I've got to create that as a pattern to add to another shatter effect on top of it to make it look like there's some thinner dust being added. Got to adjust the physics, make it change over time so it looks like I'm actually, snapping away like Thanos did to people. This whole process took me probably about an hour and a half to 2 hours to do, to make 4 seconds of footage, right? So that this could happen. You know, I snapped away like Thanos. Took me 4 hours. It took me, sorry, about an hour and a half to 2 hours to make that, right? And that was for 4 seconds of footage. And you're telling me that they can, in real time, remove harnesses and shit from green screens and make it look absolutely perfect? There's no fucking way. It's just not possible.
Light.
You see,
This is how much light is on my green screen.
You never will.
I'm using top-end equipment. Adobe is an industry standard. Adobe is an industry standard thing that is used to create special effects.
The general public, for Joe Public.
But no matter what software you have,
you don't really understand. There's actually not much. There's only like one.
You're assuming that they're going to be at the same standard that you are.
Well,
no, they really. You just don't understand. They really are only like one step ahead of us. They basically do the same exact thing. Barry, they do the exact same thing as us, except they just do it with a different program.
Yeah. But Barry, no matter what software they have,
Barry,
they're still
magic is what does a lot of the special effects.
Who's using what?
Barry, hold on. No matter what software you have, there's still going to be steps that you have to go through, right?
Yeah,
you are not going to be able to, in real time, remove a chroma key from behind you. Like, get rid of harnesses that are helping you set up in real time.
Yes, you can.
You're not going to be able to do that in real time.
You can do that now.
No, you can. You physically can't do that in real time.
To the public.
What happens if I just like take away the one light, or like if I
look at Brainy right now.
If I just change the dimness or like the color of things, I'm doing the wrong one.
You can actually edit out live stream.
Trying to figure out which one does it. One of them reveals the screen. So if I just change the colors,
Brainy, look what Brainy's doing. All right, just by changing the colors slightly, it's totally screwed up the green screen behind him. You
can start to see the green screen right away. Like you just start here. One of the colors will make it disappear. I think one of them. I can't remember which one it is. It'll literally just. Fuck, this is actually doing pretty good. Normally, this green screen doesn't work that good. Watch this. Hey Google, turn off. Hey Google. Turn off studio light. Now you'll see it. That one adds the extra little bit. Man, I found like a color combination here that seems to work. But anyways, yeah, see, like there it is. You can see it when I change colors, or if you fluff the screen, or even there's any sort of part in the screen, you get. It's actually doing better than normal. I guess I got on a really good adjustment. Lately, I've been having troubles with it, so actually that's really awesome.
That's Brainy sitting in one place, right? Just in one place. In these live streams, they go through hatches and everything. You know, where's the green screens around them? You know, there's literally no way that any of this could happen in real time, what they're doing. It's just not possible, Barry.
If it was pre-prepared.
No, but they're live. And like,
how can it be live and pre-prepared?
Yeah, they answer questions live and stuff.
Except apparently I'm doing a way better job than I thought I was doing with the green screening.
Right.
Anyway, you always find that
now I'm just in the dark.
Yeah, I'm using the stuff that they use in the film. Barry, I'm using the stuff that they use to make movies. Independence Day was made using Adobe products. Most of the Harry Potter stuff was made using Adobe products with some Nuke and some Blender for, Nuke was a lot of the stuff.
It means they've moved on.
Like, watch if I stand in front of here, it'll start to lose me because the camera has to catch up with me. And so you see how the green screen starts to show up, and like you could just
the internet, we've got it since the military had it long before we got it.
Of course they had. I was military, right?
Barry, Bumblebee Tuna too. They've had Bumblebee Tuna for a while as well, I heard.
Barry, right. I was military. I signed the Official Secrets Act. I worked with nuclear stuff. Have you any idea how fucking old the shit is that we have to deal with in the military?
What did you know that we shouldn't?
I worked with a lot of nuclear equipment. I knew the design of military nuclear reactors and stuff. So of course I had to sign the Official Secrets Act. But
one of those secrets was that it was flat. He told all of us. He just don't want to let you know.
Why are the design of military nuclear reactors secret? Why do you think they're secret, Barry?
They're not actually secret, are they?
Well,
they actually are.
Yeah, of course they are.
I mean, we know that the Russians know where they are.
Yeah, they know about where
the Russians really don't know where the submarine I was on was. But like, my point, Barry, is have you any idea how old the equipment was that we had to use to run a nuclear submarine? The military did not have top-end equipment.
You know that the
Believe you
Russian
fucking
military,
me.
At the time, yeah.
you know that the Russian Navy when they dispatched their aircraft carrier to the Mediterranean as a show of force for Syria, they had to send a little fleet of tugboats with it because they've never replaced their aircraft carriers since the Cold War, and they're so shitty they have to send little tugboats with it in case it breaks down so they can tow the thing. And like, now America's military doesn't operate like that, but that's the other fucking greatest, liar in the entire world. Now I guess they could use that as an argument for the fact that they're not launching things, but I will tell you this: the problem with Russia is their economy it's all a bunch of oligarchs taking money out of the pockets of the public. So their space industry's been getting paid hundreds of millions of dollars. It's been going into yachts.
Russia, America, Europe.
Yeah, they're really not.
They're all in the same boat.
They're really not in the same boat.
They're really not. Russia's economy is so
really
different.
together.
It all just goes to rich people that are friends with Putin. The guy will be worth $1 billion, but meanwhile the people can't eat. And he runs a public utility, and somehow he's worth $1 billion fucking dollars. His buddy, and it turns out it's his poker friend. Like, shocker. They're all corrupt, and that's where all the money goes in Russia, unfortunately.
Right.
That's how it works.
I think
there.
it's about time we start to wrap things up. Obviously, Barry's never going to understand basic physics or how the world works.
Well, I do
but
understand
Barry,
basic physics. You're the one denying it.
No, you really don't understand.
let's just yell at him.
You're
basic
the one
physics.
denying. You're the one denying basic physics.
Tell me what the
You're claiming.
Tell me what the-
You're claiming.
Tell me what the
you're claiming that
derivative of
gravity,
x squared
which is not a force,
Hey,
is a barrier.
Hey, you know basic physics, Barry. Tell me what the derivative of x squared is.
Tell you what. How does gas stick to the outside?
No. You just said you know basic physics, so surely you're going to know something as simple as what the derivative of x squared is.
I don't need to. I know that you can't get gas.
Wait, so you don't you know basic physics, but you don't know one of the most basic derivative equations
Which have you
in the
proven
world?
me wrong so far?
All the experiments I keep mentioning that you ignore.
You haven't shown me anything.
I don't know. Hey, Barry, I'm not sure if I proved you wrong. Now, can you tell me about European settlers? Or I'd like to know about the Vikings, maybe. Let's talk about Vikings instead. Sorry.
That's all I've seen
Anyway,
so far.
right, Barry, there's a couple of
Then
questions
you've
for you
gone
from
on
the
subject,
audience.
You've gone on about submarines, you've gone on about water.
Yeah, you're the one that
No,
keeps
part
changing
of the
this up. Right,
conversation,
Barry,
asshat.
please try and talk into the phone a bit more because you're going very quiet again. But there's a couple of questions from the audience for you. So if you want to bear with me. If you fly a small drone in a car going, this is Tim Pryor for $5. If you fly a small drone in a car going 60 miles an hour, ask him if the drone has to fly 60 miles an hour to keep up whilst it's in the car.
Whilst it's in the car.
Yeah.
It will already do that because you'll have it on hover.
So
Why is that simple for you then?
If he lets it
And
go
why
out
is the other
car,
concept so
does he think it'll
hard?
Stay with the car. Does he think he could catch up?
But it's not on the car. It's just left the surface of the car. It's just floating inside the car. Why? Why doesn't it have to go 60 miles an hour to keep up with it?
Yeah, it's inside the car.
Because it's going the same speed as the car, basically,
Yeah.
when it left the guy's hand.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Why does that work there, but not when you leave the surface of the Earth?
Well, because like I said, if it leaves the car while they're still driving, what do you think will
Well,
happen?
but that's the only. Well, hold on. What if there was no air friction? What if
Well,
there was?
then
What
it's
if
left
it
the
left
frame
the
of
car and there
reference
was no
then, hasn't it?
resistance? Yeah, but you're not comparing
left a
apples to
distance.
apples. There's no
So
friction.
once
Its
it's gone
space
out
is
the
there
car,
now.
do you think it could then shoot back up and catch up?
Well, if there was no friction, it wouldn't. If there was nothing to resist
Well,
against the thing, it would have kept going
You're
the same
claiming
speed.
that satellites are doing that.
You're not listening, but that's okay. That's pretty normal for you.
Anyway, okay. So basically, you don't know is the answer. Cool. No worries.
No, I said no. It stay in the car.
So we've got a pilot in the chat.
You're right. But your other stuff's wrong. So
we've got a pilot in the chat called Aslam, who for $2 Australian says why he uses the Havershine formula when he flies, when that's based on a globe.
Won't even attempt,
Where
Brady.
does he use it to do what?
To calculate routes that
where,
he's traveling.
From where to where?
Anywhere.
Well, you don't. One wouldn't need it if he's inland, is he? Would he?
No, to calculate the distances going from point A to point B and everything, he needs to use the Havershine formula, which is based on a globe. Why is that?
Well, like I said, going where to where?
Anywhere to anywhere.
Well, that
To
can't be
calculate the
anywhere.
correct
I mean, like I
distances, you
said,
need
if
to
he's
use
a-
the Havershine formula. Why is that?
Why would he need it? Why would he? Why? What I'm saying, like I said, you're telling me he needs to use a Havershine. I don't see how that takes him over a globe. when you
because
only
that's
need
how
to
you
get to a cer-
that is
up
how
to a-
you calculate great circle routes and
Yeah.
stuff on a globe, and it only works for the globe, and that's what he used to calculate his routes.
It works on a flat surface.
No, it doesn't.
only
Great
have to
circle
go-
routes do
you
not
only have
work
to
on a
fly
flat
certain light in the
surface.
right
The
direction
Haberstein formula
towards
does
the
not
country
work
it's
on a
going
flat
to.
surface. You are wrong.
Of course it can. It's flying over a flat surface.
Can you please tell me how the Haberstein formula works on a flat surface?
It doesn't work. Perhaps it doesn't work on a flat surface.
Correct, it doesn't. Moving on.
It doesn't.
Okay.
They don't use it.
Draco Fire for 500 Japanese yen says that when you said gas only has mass when was contained, he'd like to know if he could have his brain cells back, please.
What are you talking about?
Barry stole his brain cells, or at least made them fall out.
Oh no,
Anyway,
that's not good.
Johnny Marr for £2 says, Larry, why are the shadows on the moon circular?
Yeah, that's a good question. That is. Very good question.
Well, we know the answer.
Oh, you think it's the Earth causing it?
Makes sense, right?
Well,
It
not
doesn't,
if you
doesn't
go
look
and
like a
look again,
turtle.
You might find it doesn't.
Say again?
Not when you
Well,
go and
why
look again,
doesn't
you
it?
might find it doesn't actually make sense.
No, it absolutely does make sense. Right, Barry.
course
I've
it
got,
does.
No, it doesn't.
Perry.
It's predictable too with our model.
Yeah, Perry. I've got a challenge for you. Right, next time that you step outside of your hovel, I want you to look at the moon in the sky and notice what
it's a serious answer I'm trying to give you, right? Because
Yeah,
you're
okay,
playing
and
with the
I'm
ball
trying to
that-
explain something to you.
the
I want you
ball
to
that
look
comes
at the. I want you to
between
look at the moon.
and the
Next
sun.
time you crawl out your hovel, I want you to look at the
Creates
moon
that shadow.
and look at the moon, what shape it is, a crescent or whatever. Okay. Then I want you to gather a ball of some kind. It can be scrunched up, cum sock, whatever you like. Hold it
The
up.
one in your mouth.
And,
Just kidding.
hold it
That
up
was a
and
joke.
notice how
I'm joking.
the shadows on the ball shaped thing that you're holding are the same as what you see on the moon in the sky.
Yeah, and it'll differ because it'll
No, they
skew.
look the same. They look exactly the same because
it'll
we're
skew-
relatively
it'll
the
skew.
same distance away from the sun.
No, the shadow will skew if it's on a ball. it
No,
will
they
skew.
don't. This has been experimented with many times. Do it yourself, and you will
Okay.
see that you're right.
Okay.
That you're wrong. Sorry.
Oh, actually, I have done. That's how I know it'll skew.
Aslan for another $5 Australian said, well, you're wrong.
Now he's done. Okay.
Aslan for another $5 Australian says, again, why do I use the Haberstein formula? When I fly my aircraft, the Haberstein works exclusively on a globe. This is from an actual pilot.
Right? Yeah.
You don't know? Okay, never mind.
What is the difference then?
What do you mean, what's the difference?
What is the difference?
The difference of what?
What is the Havisham? What is this? What is this flight telling them it's different to what's on the flat Earth? What is it telling them it's different?
You use the Haberstein formula to calculate great circle routes, which is only working on the globe. It's pretty simple, Barry, kind of like you.
Great circle routes.
Yeah.
So
They
you're
only
going
work on the
around
globe.
something.
No, please Google great circle. I don't want to start explaining great circle routes.
You're
to you.
talking
It doesn't mean
about
it's a
flight,
circle.
and in flights,
You
normally
need to
travel
go and
straight
Google
lines.
Barry. You need to go and Google a great
aeroplane,
circle
isn't
route. Justin Nil for $5 says he doesn't have a question for Larry. He just wants you to know that you are remarkably incredulous. Yes, that is right. Barry, I want to say congratulations because it's been an incredible year, right? 2020. It's been an incredible year for having stupid on my channel. However, you fall firmly in the top 3 of the dumbest people I've spoken to, and that's an achievement. And I want to say well done.
I mean, it does take
Not
work.
Too bad, especially when you got someone like me sitting there, you know, and yourself.
Especially as when you got who?
You got Beaver sitting next to you, and you're this
Yeah, Beaver is a guy who literally works with pressure as a job,
yeah.
and I'm a guy with 2 degrees, 1 in
But here's
physics,
the-
1 in
but here's
nuclear
the bo-
engineering.
here's the bo-
Yeah, of
here's
course,
the
we're
bottom
the
line
dumb
for
ones.
me then, right?
Barry, what's it like to have to
I know
use
you talk a
Velcro
load of
shoes
shite
as an
and you claim
adult?
that, you're claiming that science is wrong.
No, science is right.
claim
Science
that
I'm not
disagrees with
getting
everything you
gravity-
say. Science
We know it
literally disagrees with everything you say.
We know it's not that I disagree with everything. I disagree with the lies that you're telling.
Oh, I didn't tell any
And
lies.
you're trying to
Just
make
because
it,
you don't
you're
understand
trying
them
to
doesn't
make
make
it
it a
sound as
lie.
though I disagree with everything. I disagree with
you
everything
pretty
you're
much
telling
do.
me about the claiming about space, and I disagree with the.
That's
that
because
you're
you're dumb as
claiming
fuck.
That we're living on a ball.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's because
I
your
do
IQ
disagree.
is in single figures, Barry. You realise this?
But My disagreement is based off facts, not the bullshit.
You don't have any facts, Barry. Do me a favor,
I would
Barry.
prefer to talk about Western
That's
settling
without containment.
and
That's
the
a
first
fact, isn't
railroad
it?
across Canada.
There's one more question.
Gas pressure without
one more
containment.
question.
Subject.
Show me that.
One more question for you from the audience. Colin Elliott for $5 says, "Why does a hot air balloon not race off at 6,000 miles an hour when it leaves the Earth?" He means 66,000 miles an hour, but
why would they use a hot air balloon other than to go up?
Oh,
Listen
Mr.
to the
Andrew, I
question.
fixed that audio
Why
issue.
does a hot air balloon not race off at 66,000 miles an hour when it leaves the Earth's surface?
Because of the weight it's carrying.
Barry,
Because of Nathan Thompson's tears.
Yeah, on that incredibly dumb note, I'm gonna wish you and your family a happy Christmas. And
I'll joke
say,
aside, buddy.
please get the fuck off my channel. You're far too stupid for me to deal with.
It's very polite of him.
And Barry's gone.
Love you, Barry. Love you, Barry. Bye,
Love you, Barry.
Barry.
Oh, what
He's
fun!
a nice idiot. I mean,
Yeah,
hey,
he's
listen,
not-
you've had worse human beings. Like, and I
Yeah,
mean this sincerely, Barry. If you're listening right now, like you're not too bad, man. As much as we give you shit, like, yeah, maybe you don't listen, maybe you argue with us, but you're not one of those people that I'm just like, oh fuck this asshole.
No,
like, you know what I mean?
he's
There's
not a
people where you
Nathan
just don't even want to
Thompson-
talk to them.
Yeah, he's not a Nathan Thompson shouting at kids or an Austin Whitsitt being incredibly homophobic and racist and stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy. Some of those people. It's shocking.
So I'm going to debate Whitsitt. I said I wouldn't platform him. I'm not going to talk to him on my channel. I mean, I'm going to stream it on my channel, but I'm going to do it on Modern Day Debates. However, I am going to ask that I have a different moderator there. I'm probably going to ask for either Jared or Sean Hufford to come and moderate the actual debate, because we all know James doesn't actually moderate. The plan is to do to Whitsitt what I did to Thompson. I am going to spend an entire stream making him as angry as possible and making him look as stupid as possible before never speaking to him again. And once again, 2020 has been a fucking shit year, but at least Nathan Thompson lost his Facebook group and his YouTube channel.
That is funny shit. They wonder where it goes. Stop talking about health shit. They let you talk about. They all claim censorship for flat Earth. Same thing I said on Twitter. They all claim censorship for flat Earth, and the reality is that Nathan Oakley is still talking about flat Earth to this day, and they haven't. Is he not monetized even? Or is he
is monetized. He gets super chats. Well, a few anyway.
Well, there you go. So I mean, that's the thing. They will let you talk about flat Earth. They will not let you say that chlorine cures fucking coronavirus. That's the thing. They will not let you say that. Now that I've demonetized your whole channel.
Do you want to do a collaboration with me about Whitsitt?
Oh yeah, that could be fun. I haven't really looked at Whitsitt much, but I could start researching.
All right. Well, I want you to cover the argument with Nathan Oakley then.
That was amazing.
You love covering Oakley, right? You know you love talking about Oakley.
Oakley's fun. Oakley's fun.
Right.
He gets so
there you
mad.
go. Next collaboration, I think it'll be episode 52 of Flerfs Are Idiots. Will be me and Brainy Beaver covering Austin Whitsitt. That'll be fun.
That's fun. Fun.
Right, I'm going to read super chats and then we're going to get out of here. C4 for $5 says, "Merry Christmas to you and yours, FTFE, and everyone in chat." Yeah, absolutely. Merry Christmas, everyone. From the bottom of my heart, I hope that you have a decent time to top off a terrible, terrible year. I hope it can take away some of the horribleness that the year has forced upon us. Excuse me. Glass Monster for $2 Canadian. Bring me on. Sorry, Glass Monster, not today, dude. But I'm going to be doing some more like members only chats and stuff, and I'll bring you on for that. Aslem for $5 Australian says, "Favorite Xmas movie? Saw. You forgot the famous flat Earth experiment of nuh-uh." Yeah, that is all they do. Better Charge, my favorite Kiwi, for $5 New Zealand says, "What's up, fuckers? Just swinging by to say PC Master Race is the best. Consoles for the win, bitch." Tim Pryor for $5 says, "Tell him to fly a small drone in a car going 60 miles an hour." Yeah, we did ask that one. He didn't fucking understand. Aslam for $5 Australian says, "Antarctica is hiring trades, carpenter, plumbers, etc. Get a job, Barry." He already has a job. It's giving hand jobs at the local, gas station Bath. Christopher Hugan for $5 Australian says, "Love your last video with Simon Dan. Best laugh I've had." Yeah, if you haven't seen my last video with Simon Dan, collaboration on his channel with me, him, and the agent, where we talked about Joey Rocha, who was in the chat earlier, not understanding volcanoes, which is incredible because he fucking lives on one in Hawaii, you know? Like, Hawaii is just volcanoes, and He doesn't think they're real. He just calls them cone-shaped mountains. Do you want to melt a mountain? Yeah, they actually made me sing in that video. But if you do watch that video, the effects and everything are amazing. They're done by Wolf Brothers Cinema. Please go and subscribe to Wolf Brothers Cinema on YouTube. If one of my mods would actually please put Wolf Brothers link, because everyone should check them out. They did the great teleporting effects, and when you look at the bit of me looking out my window, they've put like a volcano in the reflection and stuff. It was really good. Then we have Mr. Sensible for £2, says it's a globe. I checked. Happy Xmas, everyone. Yes, Mr. Sensible sent a probe to the edge of space and saw the curve of the Earth. If you're not subscribed to Mr. Sensible, you need to fucking sort that out. He's an incredible, incredible debunker. Aslam for $2 Australian says FTFE in a bow. Smecks the idea, Brainy. No, don't put me in a bow. Richard Purtiser for $5 says 2020 finally had something nice happen. We found jam for brains, Berry, and Nathan Thompson lost his channel. Hashtag Nathan Thompson Dumbfuck of the Year 2020. He will be Dumbfuck of the Year 2020. There's no doubt about it. And if you guys haven't voted for him yet, go over to Red's Rhetoric's channel, go to the Dumbfuck of the Year one, click on the Nathan Thompson and vote for him. Draco Fire. Oh no, we read that one. Thank you very much. My Dennis 787B for 38 HKs, Hong Kong dollars maybe, I'm not sure, thank you. Says, this dude Barry should be booted. He's not too bad, dumb as fuck, but not bad as Flerfs go. And Aslam gave me another $5 without a message, thank you very much. Then we got King Ed V for $5 says, hey FTFE, Cavendish and Schehelian experiments were done because of the surveying of the Mason-Dixon line in the USA because of the errors they kept getting. Yeah, that was right. They wanted to confirm why the errors were there, and they used both the Cavendish experiment and the Schehelian experiment to weigh the Earth to make sure the calculation corrections were right. So thank you. Aslam for $2 Australian says, got bingo a while ago. What do I win? An aneurysm, listening to Barry. Shane Sommer for $2 says, came from Team Stream to say happy birthday, y'all. Happy holidays, y'all. Happy birthday. Thank you very much. If you guys aren't subscribed to Team Skeptic, you probably should do that. He's an awesome content creator.
Yeah, of course you should. It was too bad that we all had to go live at the same time. It was bound to happen.
Yeah, I didn't realize he was going live, so I did feel a bit bad about that. But thank you for coming over. And if you guys aren't subscribed to Team Skeptic, he's an amazing creator. You've seen him loads on my channel. So please drop Team a sub and say Merry Christmas. Then we have Justin Nell for $5 says, I don't have a question for Larry. He's just remarkably incredulous. Yes, he was. Colin, no, we died that one. Another $2 from Aslam. Another $5 from Aslam. Thank you. Gaza, the Master of Europe, for £4.99 says, good debate, fire to finish. Even if Barry was typical Flerfer, Merry Christmas fight. Merry Christmas to you, mate. Much appreciated. Jet Guitars for $5 says, can't stay on the stream for long, but your video with Simon Dan gave you a raise from me on Patreon. You earned it, loved it. Thank you very much, Jet Guitars. I really do appreciate the amazing support. Patreon's been great for me this year, and I want to give a massive shout out to my new $100 patron supporter. His name's coming up on screen right now, Andrew M. Gross. Thank you very much, and thank you, Jet Guitars, for increasing what you did. I really appreciated that. Draco Fire for another 500 Japanese yen. The Simon Dan video is brilliant. Loved it. Happy holidays, everyone. I want my IQ points back. You're right, but I'm sorry, I can't give you them back. I've had an amazing year on YouTube. It's been a shit year for the majority of the world. We've had to deal with things that as a species we've not dealt with for generations. It's been hard on everyone. There's idiots making it even harder. People are lonely. People are scared. People are losing their jobs. And it's been shit. But I hope that throughout the year, I have managed to give you some joy. I have managed to help you get through the shitty times. And the most important thing is to remember that this is a community. There's people here that you can talk to. You can message Brainy on Discord and he'll chat to you because he's desperate for attention. You can hit me up on Twitter or anything. Tell me your woes. There's so many amazing people in this community that if you do feel alone and you're scared and worried, reach out and talk to us. We're here for you. We're here to make you feel better. That's what me and Brainy do on YouTube. We want to make your lives a little bit better. And I really hope that I've managed to do that this year. The support I've been getting is incredible, blows my mind, and makes me want to do this more and more. And next year is going to see a massive boost for my channel in content with Red's Rhetoric. Oh, shouldn't say that yet. Somebody joining the channel full time. Brainy being on the channel a lot more.
A 15-second delay.
I just hope that you all continue to enjoy my content. But more importantly, I hope that you will have an amazing Christmas with your families. Take the time with your loved ones and just forget about the shit that's happened this year, and, you know, have a good Christmas. Brainy, I want to say a massive thank you to you for being an incredible supporter of my channel this year, and I think you're one of the best content creators I know.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it, and I would say the same about you and FTI or team and all those other people as well, all the other great creators out there. No, it's been a lot of fun. I guess if I got 10 seconds, I'd say if you haven't seen my one and only official response to some other person, which, you know, because I'm trying to just drop it there, just go check out my video on my channel and give it a like, give it some love. It's doing quite well, and it's some good cosplay. I've also reached out, by the way, just so you know, there may have to be one more of those in the future, because I reached out to Illuminati, which is the girl who does the KJP impressions. Have you seen that? Did I send that to you?
No.
Did you see the one where she's reading the text where she's doing a KJP interview and she's reading? This is funny for anybody. It doesn't have to be part of drama. She's pretending to be KJP, doing like one of those, you know, like where they're just sitting in their chair talking to the fans, and you hear like, "Oh, I got an email from my attorney," and she's like, being sued from Taddy Westbrook for $5 million. I have to go, everybody. And like she pretends she thinks she hung up, and she's like yelling for her husband, "I need you down here right now. I need to put speakerphone on with my attorney." You know, like it was $5 million. You can hear the stress in her voice. She did a good job. If you guys haven't seen her, check her out. Illuminati. She's been doing KJP, and she had in the background like a pillow. That was when it said "I love Unirock," and one of the pictures on the wall. She did the same thing as me. She remade KJP's background, and on the wall in the picture frame there was just a picture frame with a rock in it. And now when she does this, the most recent one, she had "I love Unirock" crossed out on the pillow, because they're not talking anymore. That's so funny. Anyways. So yeah, go check out that channel. Make somebody salty with me just for some fun. But and other than that, yeah, I'm working.
Subscribe to Brainy Beaver.
Yeah, I'm working on some content now because it's been a good month for me, and I want to. I want to pump some more Flat Earth and First Amendment and just make fun of stupid people. So yeah, that'll be fun. Witsit's next, I guess.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. Please subscribe to Brainy Beaver. He has a criminally low amount of subs. He should definitely have way more. Not as many as
I feel the same way.
But you know. Another super chat from Draco Fire for 200 Japanese yen. I'll be suing you for those IQ points, Craig. Bring it. So I'm going to be taking a few days off to spend with my family over Christmas. I'll be back before the new year finishes with the new episode of Flerfs Say What, where I cover all the stupid shit that Flerfs say in my comment section on Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, and all that beautiful stuff. I've also got another debate on the 27th, so that'll probably be the first time you see me back after Christmas. But like I said, I hope everybody has an amazing, amazing Christmas. And if you've got some time, watch some of my videos, drop a like and a share and subscribe. But you know what? Most importantly, guys, remember that stupidity, it's not right. Fight the Flat Earth. Fight the flat. Fight the flat. Fight the flat.